Hello, everyone, and welcome to the first episode of Season 2 of The Legend of Podcast, Trails Through Trails.
Woohoo!
This season, it is a podcast where we will be playing through the entirety of The Legend of Heroes, Trails in the Sky, second chapter, which, fun fact for those who don't know, that's the second game in the series. And that's what we're playing. We're starting off with the prologue today, and to discuss that, you have me, your host, Matt, who uses he, him pronouns.
And me, your other host, Lex, who uses she, her pronouns. We've stolen our podcast back from the thieves from last episode.
Those horrible larcenists who made us enjoy talking to them for about 3 hours are gone, and you're stuck with us again.
The Phantom Thieves, the podcast Phantom Thieves.
Oh god, what a spin-off that'll be. But yeah, Lex, we're back. How are you doing? Are you ready to play a whole new video game?
I'm so ready to play a whole new video game. These games are great. Every time I boot a new one up again, I'm just like, oh yeah, these are awesome.
Yeah, I am so excited to play this frickin' ding-dang, gosh-darn fucking game, because I had to hold myself back for quite some time, partly so that I wouldn't get through the prologue immediately after we finished last season and then not remember it by the time we recorded the next season episode.
God, yeah.
But also just because, I wanted to play it in one fell swoop, and I sure did. But we're going to get to that. Firstly, though, what have you been up to since last season?
Oh my gosh. So, for those of you listening, we recorded last season a lot earlier than you heard it all. That's something we're planning to change.
Yeah.
But other than the wrap-up episode with guests, it was in late May that we recorded our last episode.
Oh, geez, it was, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's been like 2 months since you heard what I was up to. Unless you follow me on socials or on Discord, in which case you've heard too much about what I'm up to anyway. I've played a bunch of the 100-line Last Defense Academy, which is a fan-fucking-tastic game. I mentioned it once before on the show, and I am still so obsessed with it. I played the new Rune Factory game. I started playing Jeanne d'Arc on PSP, which I'm weirdly obsessed with.
Oh, nice.
I've never played it before. I've done other things that aren't video gaming, but I feel like that's not what anyone's here to hear about. So, but I have, in fact, eaten food and slept and, talked to people and, gone places. I went to a concert this week. I went to see Post Malone Jukebox, which was pretty fun.
Nice.
So yeah, I do things sometimes other than video games, but I am a sicko at heart, so that's what I'm here for. What about you, Matt? What have you been up to?
Well, I have been keeping myself busy doing many of the same video games things. At the time of recording the finale, I think, and definitely the episode with Chase and AJ, I was in the midst of reviewing Donkey Kong Bonanza, a fan-fucking-tastic video game. I put my review out. I'm very glad everyone else agrees that it's a fantastic game.
And a great review. It'll be in the show notes. Go read it.
Oh, thank you.
Sorry, I'm putting you on blast. You have to put it in the show notes. It's a great review.
Oh no, I hate to promote myself. It makes me feel so bad when people read my writing. I finished the game. I actually finished the game before writing the review, which I don't always get to do because I review a lot of RPGs, especially. And more often than not, when you are reviewing a game, you'll have an embargo on it that says you can only talk up until this event, or you can't discuss these mechanics or these revelations or these locations or whatever. So sometimes with an RPG, you're just like, yeah, I did get to the end of Act 1 and that's all I'm allowed to talk about. So I'm okay to stop here because it took me the whole time I had. Whereas Donkey Kong, I was just blasting through it, having a great time. And then took a break from it after that until people started playing it, and now I'm back into it, having a great time. In between, just to have some downtime, I played and completed Death Stranding 2, and that was a good video game. I'll probably circle back to that because there is something very zen about just running back and forth with packages and either putting on the in-game music player or just chucking on a podcast. I've caught up on a lot of podcasts playing that game. Thank goodness.
Very nice.
I finished that and then I turned around and immediately finished Is 8, Lacrimosa of Dana, which turns out I was right before the end of anyway, which I always seem to do with these games. So I finished that. I've officially finished an Ease game for the first time ever.
Ooh.
So prepare for our spin-off podcast called Ease on Down the Road, where we will play through...
Nice.
Not even going to get into it, but there's 3 different versions of half the numbered games in that series because of the mess of video game development. Never mind. So I've been playing those and bounced around some other games, just kind of like letting off steam. Because I was so hyped up to play more Sky second chapter, I ended up busting out Daybreak 2 again, just as kind of like a nicotine patch for my Trails needs. I have completed Act 3C now, so I'm about to start 3D, which I think means I'm right near the end. So that's exciting. What else?
You've played a lot of 100 Line too.
I have played a lot of 100 Line. Won't get into specifics because obviously that game is a spoiler mine. I completed Route 0 and I'm on, as of time of recording this podcast, day 99 of my second playthrough, ending, route, whatever we're calling it. I haven't played enough to know for sure. I started on one route and I got bored of it a little bit.
Yeah.
So I just kind of pivoted and went back to a previous decision and went the other way. And it's wild. It feels like I've bounced through the edges of 3 or 4 different endings with just like the weird events that happen and then kind of brush by. But I'm having a great time. I have kind of let myself de-stress a bit about it. I'm not trying to min-max or like optimize my time the way I would with like a Persona game or something in the same kind of like countdown day thing. Because
no, you can always go back and do more free time like easily. I won't spoil how the whole that ability is, but you can make more free time for yourself if you want to do free time activities. So it's not quite as tense as like a Persona where it's like I only have this time. I won't be able to do all my social links. Like you can always do it. There's always ways.
For frame of reference, it's like I had the perception going in that you would have to play from day 1 to day 100 multiple times, which for 100 endings, that's 10,000 days of gameplay. So it's not like that, don't worry. It's more of... so I would say for a gameplay sort of mechanic reference, I would say Radiant Historia and Radiant Historia Perfect Chronology on the DS and 3DS respectively, which just sort of have a branching chapter select type setup. So it's a bit more like that as opposed to having to play through 100 days 100 times, which when I heard that as the basic premise, you have 100 days to play through and also there's 100 endings, I was like, what is wrong with all of these sickos in this goddamn Discord playing this 10,000 day game? Because you know what they say, if you spend 10,000 hours, or in this case 10,000 gameplay days doing a thing, that's how you become a master. So I guess that's how you master saving humanity or being at a school. Or
maybe all of the above, maybe none of the above.
Yeah, who knows? Anyway, it's a fantastic game. I'm having a great time with it. And there was like one other thing I was playing, but I can't remember it. There's too many games. It was something else on Switch. What was it? I played a bit of Fantasy Life. I think that was it.
Right.
Other than that, I have spent my time between seasons. I have soundproofed my little closet that I record out of. Hopefully, the sound quality will increase, but it looks prettier than just kind of shoving my head in a cupboard full of random clothes.
It does look nice.
Makes me feel professionalized. If you can find my Instagram, I posted photos.
Yeah, I'm feeling a little like incompetent next to your professional setup right now. I gotta get mine looking better. Well, I'm now sitting at a desk, whereas last season I just sat on my bed the whole time, so that is an upgrade.
I'm just very happy. Purple is my favorite color. This is evident, I think, from anyone who's seen anything of mine. Every character creator, everything. But I have black and purple soundproofing tiles. I've gone full sicko mode. I bought purple headphones. I've got my smart lights purple at the moment, just so I can really feel my fantasy. Yeah, it's good to be a podcaster and spend 2 hours sticking foam to the inside of a cupboard. I had to do maths to do this, Lex. I'm a graphic design major.
Oh my god.
I don't do maths. That's not okay. And it was...
Wow, I'm proud of you.
It was kind of maths if you consider size of the foam tile as a unit of measurement, because I sure did, because fuck measuring things.
Yeah.
This cupboard is 2 tiles deep. Don't know how many centimeters. Couldn't tell you. But that's where I am currently. I'm in a cupboard full of foam that I bought off the internet, and I'm ready to talk for several hours over the next several months about a video game.
We should probably get to that. We always go on tangents for so long. I'm sitting here catching up with you, and I just remembered that, like, oh yeah, we are recording a podcast right now. I'm not just catching up with my buddy. Totally forgot for a second.
If you didn't want to hear, like, a long tangent about something that's not really important to the critical story of what you're doing, you're at the wrong podcast, because that's the whole damn show.
It's true. I mean, there are chapter markers, but also you never know when there's going to be a tangent. There's a lot of them. Anyhow, for a little bit of housekeeping about trails before we get into this trail. As of today, we're recording, it's July 26th, and a few days ago, there was a massive new interview with the president of Falcom
Oh, yeah.
about trails. It's a really good interview, but please be warned that there are spoilers for later games, particularly for
Yes.
Trails into Reverie, the identity of someone. And I mean, there's other stuff that comes up, but especially for a secret identity type situation. So just be careful. I mean, proceed at your own, break it you buy it. Whatever words of warning apply. It is a great interview, though. And one thing that I found really interesting was that Kondo talks about how they do comment on relevant political situations as they're making games. Like, one example he used was that in the Daybreak games, immigration is a big topic. The country of Calver, where it takes place, there's been a big influx of immigrants in recent years, and there's a lot of people who don't like that in the game, and those are not good guys who are the anti-immigrant white supremacists. They're called that. But he talked about how Japan has also recently had way more, like a really big influx of immigrants compared to previous amounts of immigrants, and how that's something that Japan, it seems to be starting to wrestle with, and they were really interested in that idea and thinking about how that's going to affect Japan and how people are going to react to that and stuff, and how they're kind of commenting on that in the context of Japan. But this idea of influx of immigration, and I thought that was really interesting we could tell that there was political commentary in these games, but especially after me going on the last 2 episodes about how obviously these games are political, how can people say they're not woke? We now have confirmation the games are woke.
I will say there's also a lot of interesting stuff in that interview. I saw sort of an excerpt of it that had some cool points. Just stuff about how maintaining a series this long for this long has affected how they run the company. They have people who have been sort of like either working directly on Trails the entire time or orbiting around it, because, like he specifically says, they will cycle employees, sort of rotate them out to other teams to work on other projects so they don't burn out. Because you can love something and still like run yourself into the ground doing it.
For sure. Especially given that video game development is an industry where people run themselves into the ground more frequently than in a lot of other careers. Burnout and crashing and crunch is a pretty already a big risk in that career, without even the added element of working on the same project for 20 years.
Yeah, and even things like as additional creative outlets or sort of test spaces, that's where things like the novels that you collect in the games come from, or side games like in the later titles, Pom Pom Party, which is sort of a little mini game that you can play, or things like the movie cutscenes in later games as well. All of those were kind of creative outlets for members of the team to try something new or experiment. And, we've seen like elements of this stuff sort of be played around with in one game, vanish for a while, and then turn back up as a more sort of comprehensive mechanic. Even things like he mentioned in, there was a side quest in one of the games, can't remember. It's either one of the upcoming ones or one of the very recent ones, where the side quest's sort of scenario was written by his secretary, who just wanted to try writing.
I don't remember which game that was, but yeah.
But it became one of the favorite side quests by players in that game. And it's like, yeah, great. So now her like credit at the company is secretary/writer. And that's awesome.
And I do love that as secretary, he gave her the opportunity because she was interested in it.
Yeah. The rate at which they pump these games out, they have to have everyone working on anything they want to at all times. It's just cool to hear that it's, even though it's such a core, like it's becoming more of a core thing because it's sort of broken out into the Western market in a way they never thought it would. It's now a bigger deal, but they're still sort of experimenting and playing in the space. They're not sort of feeling a Western market pressure to make the sequel exactly the same as the previous game.
Yeah.
Because if it worked well the first time, it'll definitely work well the second time exactly the same. They don't care about that. They're like, no, we'll throw out the combat system every couple of games, build a feature that people love, and then drop it fishing. Actually in Daybreak, the new fishing minigame was just an experiment by one of the programmers that was meant to be in Daybreak 1 but didn't get finalized in time. And that's why Daybreak 2's mechanic is so different and better, in my opinion. It's fun to learn more about this series, and it gives such like an honest look into the studio and how it's run, which I would say is not super common for Japanese game devs. They tend to have a very professional veneer over what they say. And this one's just a bit more like, yeah, like, here's how it works. Like, here's some cool stuff to know.
Yeah, it is really cool. I'm just scrolling through the interview now to see if I can find, because now it's bothering me that I can't remember which one that is.
The secretary scenario.
Yeah. Oh, right. I was looking at the wrong one. Sorry, he did 2 big interviews recently.
Oh, okay.
Because he did one with Nintendo Life, too.
Oh, I thought the RPG site one was just excerpts from that, actually.
So yeah, no, it is different. Wow. Okay, yeah, no, these are 2 different ones. The side quest was from East 10.
Oh, right, yes, because it was more of a general Falcom chat. Yeah, so just to cut in our own conversation, we've realized halfway through discussing this that actually there were 2 big interviews that were conducted recently, one about Trails specifically and one more about Falcom as a whole, which both have fantastically interesting information. So we will link both in the show notes because 2 in-depth interviews is better than 1.
Yeah, and again, proceed with caution spoiler-wise, but yeah, there's good stuff in there. And then the only other housekeeping, we spent way longer than I expected talking just about the interviews. We have Trails Beyond the Horizon singular, which is the next main series entry, has a confirmed date of January 15th, 2026, I believe. Mm-hmm. And there's also been a lot of new trailers and clips for the Sky remake. It looks really good. I'm really excited for it, and that's still coming out in September. But I think other than that, I'm ready to dive into the game, unless there was something else that you wanted to touch on before we jump in.
Yes, the only other thing I will add is just someone over in the Worst Garbage Discord's Trails channel, I can't remember who, sorry for not crediting, but dropped in some screenshots from, I believe, a Japanese trailer that showed that the Bracer notebook that they keep in the first chapter remake includes, every time you finish a quest, will have a little Polaroid and commentary from Estelle herself about the mission, which I think is fucking adorable.
It looks so cute. Justin, and Justin's a listener too, so thank you, Justin. Justin posted
Thank you, Justin. Hello, Justin. Hi.
Hello.
Hey! Hey! Hey!
Yeah, I think it's very cute because the start of first chapter is about, like, literally Joshua teaches Estelle how to use the Bracer handbook. And she's like, the Bracer notebook, sorry. And it's like, this is where you will track all your side quests. And, you know, this is where your cooking guide and your main quest guide and your side quest guide and your monster guide will be in your menu, Estelle. And a couple of side quests and main quests, they'll have little bits of dialogue where they mention jotting something down in the notebook and stuff. So I'm really excited to see that updated live, more from like a Estelle's point of view, because the dot points that they track in the original, it's like, it's a little bit from their perspective, and it's like, we need to go, not, Estelle needs to go or whatever. But it doesn't feel that personalized.
Yeah, it's first person, but it's not like personalized.
It's in world, I guess. It's just not sort of like written for. So I haven't seen translations of what those screenshots of the Estelle commentary is. I'm excited to get them live in the game. Because I'll be honest, I don't spend a lot of time looking at the Bracer notebook or equivalent in Trails games. I'm usually only jumping in there to like check my treasure chest count, see if I've like filled in a section or whatever.
Mostly same, although in Cold Steel they do have character profiles that get updated with like new details when you get stuff, and those are fun to check. But those will come up in Cold Steel, where you'll learn a new nugget of information about somebody and it'll get updated in the Bracer, which kind of not in the Bracer notebook, in the equivalent of the Bracer notebook, but that kind of does imply that the protagonist might be a bit of a stalker if he's keeping notes on everybody he knows. But we're not going to think about that.
It's one of my favorite little mechanics in any game that like keeps an encyclopedia or whatever, where you have like the initial entry about something and then updates. So, you know, it'll be like, I've got to think of a new placeholder name because I can't use Kevin this season. Gregory. So you find your entry for Gregory, and the first thing will be like, Gregory is in his 5th year at high school. And then the update will be, Gregory is in the film club. And then Gregory loves eating with his friends because his parents died. And that'll always be sort of the revelatory third thing. It's like light. He's like, he doesn't like omelets because he doesn't like squishy food. And then it's like, and he was the sole survivor of a massacre during a war in space.
An omelet attack.
And the enemies were giant space eggs. Just that extra layer of customization, that more sort of like personalized, like down to earth level in the game with the little Estelle notebook. I'm so excited to have more insight into her character and everyone else. All of the voice actors in these trailers have been amazing. Professor Russell sounds perfect. And I'm very happy to be playing it in like 2 months. Not even.
Yeah, just under 2 months now. Oh my god. Okay. All right. Well, let's get through SC now, because
yeah, let's talk about that next game. So, shall we cut over and begin talking about the video game?
Let's do it, or whatever Estelle says.
Oh yeah!
So, the first words of this game are so bright as Estelle is waking up and she goes, "It's so bright." And I think that's hilarious. Estelle Bright's first, the opening words, it's so bright. Like, yes, it is, bitch.
For now.
Well, no, it will always be because Estelle will always brighten things up. That's it.
Maybe not at the start of this
about Estelle.
chapter, but we will get there again. She's a moment of dimness before the brightness. But yes, she wakes up, hasn't really clocked where she is to begin with either.
We recognize that she's in the palace in Grimsel, but she seems to be like, wait, this is Joshua's room. This isn't my room with Shara. She kind of remembers what happens, realizes she has Joshua's harmonica, and starts panicking and trying to look for Joshua. She runs out of the room panicking, runs into Shara, and Shara's like, "Ooh, you were up late in Joshua's room." And Estelle's like, "I don't have time for this, Shara. I'm having a breakdown. Where's Joshua?"
Yeah.
Estelle runs off, and Shara pulls a tarot card, and she pulls the Lover's card reversed.
Yes, I made a specific note of this.
Which is foreboding.
I don't know tarot, but the Lovers, not the normal way, seems like bad to me.
So there's a lot of ways that you could read the Lover's card in this context. The obvious one is the Lovers refer to Joshua and Estelle as a couple, and reverse if you want like the obvious superficial reading of it. But what I find more interesting to think about is the Lover's card is often really associated with choice and free will and making choices and like having that input into your destiny and agency. And so I think as we see Joshua and Estelle are making choices that are taking them in different directions right now. And that's, I think that's interesting to think about. But that's not a full reading, this one card. But
yeah, because like the Lovers isn't necessarily like romantic. It's just about like a relationship and interpersonal relationship as well. It's like, it's a change in dynamic or something.
Yeah, and it usually means that you're out of, for it to be reversed would mean that you're out of sync with someone around you, whether it's with one person or with everyone around you, that there's like, you're not in harmony with the person your relationship is with, or could be multiple relationships, could be one person. It could also be about there being difference, like a different weight of like how much you're focusing on other people versus yourself, how much you're like that kind of thing, like that, an imbalance between your relationships. But it can also just mean you're making bad choices, which might be what's happening. We don't know.
She started recalling the last night, cut straight into serious mode with Shara going, "Where is he?" In her best Batman impression.
Where is he?
Runs off for Dad, who is on the roof and has changed outfits, I noticed. He's in his new, I was going to say military costume, but that's not correct. It's his uniform.
He's just doing a war reenactment, nothing to see here. No, he's in his uniform.
Yeah, you know, military costume, that thing that you wear when you're in the military.
Pretty much. So yeah, he says that Joshua left a note with Estelle when Joshua carried Estelle back to the room or whatever, and he left a note, and that between the note and Estelle being passed out in his room, he put together everything. He says that if Joshua's gone into hiding, then even Cassius is going to have a really hard time finding him. He also says that Joshua almost killed him 5 years ago when he was 11.
Yeah.
Which is interesting because Joshua specifically said that Cassius beating him was like a tiger swatting away a playful cub.
Yeah.
Which is the same analogy Sel uses later this chapter to talk about Luve fighting them. So I think that's really interesting. It's the exact same wording. So I guess she really liked that. Even though she was being traumatized at the time, she really liked Joshua's wordplay. But so I think it's interesting that Cassius is saying that he barely beat Joshua 5 years ago, and Joshua is like, oh, Cassius was so strong, he didn't even have to try. I wonder who's telling the truth. Or who's not telling the truth, but who's remembering it accurately, because I think it's more a case that they remember it differently rather than that one of them is deliberately lying. But I wonder.
Yeah, I feel like maybe Cassius just has a better combat poker face. So he wasn't showing as like, holy shit, this child is almost murdering me.
That's true. And also there's probably an element of Cassius was not trying to kill. Like, Cassius did not want to hurt the kid, whereas Joshua was fighting to kill. So I'm sure Cassius had to hold back to a certain amount. Was not fighting at full potential, because Cassius fighting at full potential is a death machine. So I'm sure it's harder to fight while also someone who's trying to kill you when you're not trying to kill them.
Very true. But yeah, he says that chasing Joshua is no good because he was like a killing machine at 11 and he's had 5 more years to kind of skill up.
He also explains what Ouroboros is.
Yes.
The secret society of Ouroboros. He does say that. He explains that it's a secret society. It's seeking to manipulate society. Thought of societies there from the shadows, led by a grandmaster. So we'll learn a lot more about what that means later. But they're a criminal organization of some kind. It's like I would say it's more like a mafia group than like secret snake people type lizard aliens, whatever. It's not that. Like, they are human beings. But they are, kind of like an international crime ring, so to speak. But we'll learn more about that. But he does explain it.
Finally tells Estelle that they should just leave it. They shouldn't chase after Joshua. And I really appreciated that Estelle just like challenges him and says, I want you to explicitly say out loud to me, we shouldn't try and help Joshua. Like, don't talk around it. Don't sort of like speak in generalizations. I want you to tell me that we should abandon a member of our family, which just kind of goes to show, I don't know if it's how much she's grown up or how much she's stopped sort of relying on like being goofy in that way, because it's like she doesn't feel like she's a personality anymore. She's a person. She's a bracer. She has a purpose, and she's like, no, I want you to tell me with confidence from your chest, abandon your brother.
Cassius also tells us what Joshua's promise was, the one that they kept talking about in coded fashion.
Cassius brings up Joshua's promise from back when he sort of joined the household, which was that if he was ever a burden or folks came knocking looking for him, that he would disappear like a shadow dispelled by the sun.
He's so dramatic, that Joshua.
That little 11-year-old drama queen. But yes, that was his promise, which I guess Estelle...
Of course he grew up to do drag. He needs an outlet for all that drama.
I mean, if RuPaul's Drag Race has taught us anything...
That's a healthy outlet for drama.
Yeah, he just needs to own it more.
Drag performance, like, he does, exactly. But alas, that's the real mission of this game, is to get Joshua to accept that he's a drag queen.
Meanwhile, Estelle's just furious that Dad was keeping secrets, and has a very much "I hate you, Dad" moment.
Mm-hmm. I think she right out says, "I hate you," and runs away.
Pretty much, and then runs off into the new rain effects, which I quite liked.
Yeah, they look nice. Shara comes to confront Cassius now too.
Yeah, and I really like that while the rain is hitting, you also get like splotches on the camera as well. It feels
it's really nice.
Way more involved, yeah. But Shara comes along and I screenshotted. She says, at this point, you and Joshua are essentially the two most wretchedly miserable sons of dogs I have ever had the displeasure of knowing.
I wrote that down too. But yeah, meanwhile, Estelle is running out to the street. She's distressed. She manages to convince herself that Joshua has just gone home ahead of them, that he has not vanished, he's not run away, he just went home ahead of time. She's talking to a patrol guard who's like, you should get home out of the rain. And she's like, home? Oh yeah, Joshua went home. And as she runs off, that guard goes, wait, isn't that the girl who helped stop the coup? Which is...
It's like, didn't she stop the coup? And also, is that bitch tripping? Like, she's clearly like...
What is happening?
She's like shell-shocked, she's kind of dissociating a bit. Like, I feel like even the profile pictures they use for her dialogue in this section are like purposely a little bit misaligned with what she's saying.
Yeah.
So she always looks a little bit manic.
She's like smiling vacantly a lot. Yeah.
So I really enjoyed that. So yeah, she just sprints off into the distance to go home.
And she does not run all the way home, even though she could. She gets on an airship.
Yeah, so she has some common sense at least.
Because I could have seen her running all the way home. I know the way from Grimsel to Roland. We know the way.
It's not that far, honestly.
It's not that bad. But no, she runs to the airship.
Aboard the Cecilia, which is the airship, the green one, which we saw last game. Mm-hmm. She's remembering Josh's final words to her as she's sort of standing dramatically on the deck.
Yeah, on like the outside deck, like where you're... Because they have like a force field around it, which allows you to stand outside, so she's on the outside part.
Oh, I didn't know the force field thing. When did they ever mention that?
Tita explains it in the first game, and then more in the second game. I think it might come up again, but basically, it's the same as the force field is what negates gravity around it, which allows it to fly.
Oh, okay, right.
But it also means that the force of gravity don't affect you when you're standing on the deck.
Well, that makes sense why people can have so many like quiet, heartfelt discussions on board airships throughout the rest of this goddamn series.
Yeah. I think it's in the first game that Tita explains it, but in the next, I think in this game they explain it a bit more too.
Yeah, because a tearful confession on the deck of an airship wouldn't really be the same if you were like, I love you! What? I said I love you! Yeah.
But yeah, she's very sad. She's recalling him saying like at some points he wished she'd never met her because it was so painful. And she's like, I hurt Joshua. Like she's really feeling sad. And then insensitive jerk walks out. That's his name.
Yes, a green-haired man shows up. He is an insensitive jerk. He wants to cheer her up, apparently.
So first he goes for the, oh, a beautiful girl like you shouldn't be sad on a beautiful day like this type line. And she's like, okay, well, sorry, but I'm sad.
Mm-hmm.
Then tells her that he's putting the moves on her. And it's like, well, I guess that's not working. And he's like, well, I'll do my other role then. I'm a priest. So he's like, I'll offer priestly guidance. And now he gets referred to as previously insensitive jerk. And then his name changes to insensitive jerk ? And then we finally get a name. Yeah. This guy's Kevin Graham. This guy who's randomly walked out to try and cheer Estelle up by being, like, vaguely chauvinistic about, you shouldn't be sad when you're so pretty or whatever. And then he's like, but I am a priest. I'm a real serious priest. You know, I always do my prayers, and I always have the testaments, which are, like, their Bible at hand. Oh, wait, I think I left it at my seat. And his kind of bumbling act makes Estelle laugh. And he's like, yay, victory. Yeah. So I think you get the impression that, like, despite it being, like, kind of an insensitive way that he started, he was just trying to cheer this girl up. He was not, like, he's just trying different things to see what's going to make her smile or get her a laugh out of her.
That's a wild combination to have, too. Like, your two personality halves being, like, hey, baby, you'd look prettier if you smiled. And then also, oh, heavenly mother.
Oh, thus little lamb.
Oh, yeah, wild. Yeah, I did like, he has a pose where he sort of holds out his priest's medallion, which is, I guess, how we identify ourselves. The previously insensitive jerk held forth a medallion with a chalice engraved in the center. So he's like, here's my attorney badge, but for religion. And she's like, oh, okay, yeah, that tracks.
He offers to lend an ear to Estelle, and she just breaks down sobbing. She just collapses on the deck, just starts sobbing and shouting, it's all my fault. And it's like really heartbreaking seeing Estelle like this. We've never seen her in this kind of mood before. And Kevin finally gets serious, and he's like, you've been bottling this up for a long time, I can tell, it's okay, you can just cry it out. Like, he's kind of like, okay, like, I'm not just gonna cheer her up, like, she needs to have a good cry. And then the Sky theme plays for the first time in the game so far. We haven't heard it yet, and the da-da-da-da-da starts playing, and it's beautiful, and Estelle cries. And
yeah, it's like a new composition of it as well compared to the first game.
It's a new arrangement, I think, but yeah, it's the same song, but a new arrangement. And then she cries it out, and we cut to later on the inside. So Estelle's a bit embarrassed, but she feels better for crying it out, I think.
I also appreciate that this is the point where they introduce themselves. So all this time, he's just like, I don't know, this random girl's really sad. I have no information beyond that, and I'm just going to do my best. He kind of rights the ship a little bit. She's had her cry. Still convinced that Joshua's waiting at home.
Yeah.
But Kevin, I'm going to have to get used to calling an actual character Kevin. This is wild.
Instead of it being your go-to name for a made-up person.
Yeah, I feel like I'm disrespecting him. But yeah, he mentions he's from the High Seat in the holy city of Arteria.
The Vatican.
Is that in Leman State, or am I getting...
No, he said it's right in the middle of the continent, but it's like it's like Vatican City where it has its own statehood. Like, it's not part of another country.
Right, okay.
It's close to Leman, though, but it's like both of them are close to the middle of the continent, I think. But it is, Arteria, I think, is literally smack dab in the middle of the continent. Kind of like Garreg Mach in Three Houses.
I was gonna say Garreg Mach, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. Good
to know. But yeah, he's a wandering priest, which Estelle is the first of a few people I've seen so far who don't know that that's a thing.
Yeah.
He's just like, yeah, I'm a priest, and it sort of describes it as like, you know, for smaller towns that don't have their own sort of chapel or cathedral, I just sort of drop by and like give some religion and then move on.
Yeah, and to be fair, primary education beyond prestigious high school, at like before prestigious high schools, everyone's public school education is provided by the church. So he's a teacher. Like all priests are also teachers and nuns, and like they're all teach like under 16 or under 15-ish year olds.
Yeah.
At Sunday school, which I can't imagine only takes place on Sundays, because I don't think you can teach the entirety of elementary and middle school only on Sundays. Also, what are the parents doing if they have their kids home the rest of the week?
6 days a week, no.
Kids are always in Sunday school in the later, like when you pop into churches in the later games, there's always Sunday school going on because it's always in session. Every time I go to church in Daybreak, there's like kids are like in class learning about how the sun goes in the sky.
But at the same time, there's always like 2 to 3 children available to be eternally running in circles around fountains and stuff.
This is true. They might just be like skipping school though.
Or this is their job, is NPC looping.
Anyway, that's so Kevin's a teacher and a priest and a drag queen. Obviously, he's priest, so that goes without saying.
We're yet to see that side of him, but I am excited. But yeah, Estelle mentions Joshua, and eventually Kevin offers to walk her home because he just wants to make sure she gets home safe.
I noted that Estelle calls Joshua her brother again. She goes, my brother, sort of, in a sense. And we need a tally of some kind for how these two refer to each other. Like when they call each other siblings or not. Because it's, like, so confusing how they go back. Like, it's not a clear line. Like, they go until this point and then they stop calling each other siblings. Like, she's just like, he's my brother, kind of. But now, she's in deep denial.
I caught the specific line because, yeah, she almost stops herself and then she says it anyway. She's like, Joshua is my brother, sort of, in a sense. And it's like, honey, if you reveal any more to this priest, you're just making your future life more complicated by starting off with brother. You could say adopted brother. You could say my paramour, my beau, my prospect, but no.
You could even say like my foster sibling or something, which implies a little more like distance, like that he's like lives with the family, but is not like your, brother.
But and at the same time, Father Kevin describes his wandering priesthood as think of it as home delivery churchioning. Yeah, nails it.
That's great.
So I think that's about it for the flight home before we touch down in Roland. Oh, Roland. Yeah. Sorry, I have to correct myself now that we've heard it in trailers.
But yeah, we get to Roland or Roland. Now I can't do it either.
Yeah, right.
And Kevin is like, oh wow, this is really in the middle of nowhere. And Estelle goes, well, excuse the heck out of us for living in the boonies. I love how this, again, as we talked about last season, this is one of the 5 great cities of the nation. But it's also the boonies. But then she goes, at least we're big enough to have our own church, Mr. Totally pretending to be a holy man.
Yeah.
So I did go and talk to every single person in town because I thought it was possible that you were going to run right home because you were anxious to see what happened. And I was like, one of us has to make sure we talk to everyone.
I mean, I did a bit of a lap. I definitely didn't check in with everyone, but I tried to do a bit of a who's who. So how about I run through what I've got and then you can fill in any fun stuff that I missed, because that tends to be how it works out on this show. I find out that I missed like the best NPC afterwards. Oh, that's right. I'm going to need a checklist for that tourist who wants to marry every girl this game so I can make sure I see all of his scenes.
Yeah.
We'll highlight that every time, I think, just to kind of like flag it for other people, because if you are playing on Steam or whatever, there's that achievement you can get for it.
Odyssey of Anton. That's what the achievement's called.
The Odyssey of Anton? I love that. Alright, so going around Roland, what did we see? Little Claire, one of the kids in town, she thought Kevin was a mystery man here to tear Estelle and Joshua apart, so she's immediately very kind of like anti-him. Alyssa in the bar was super impressed by Estelle. She's like, oh, holy shit, you're back. And I heard that you fixed a coup and you've got all these crazy recognitions to your name across the entire goddamn country. And is like, just like big upping Estelle for that. And then it's like, oh yeah, things are going pretty well here. I've got full run of the kitchen here in the bar now. And Estelle is equally excited for her, which I think is fantastic.
It's so cute, I was going to say. I love that they're both, like, they really do feel like friends and people who know, it feels really real that they're both really, they know this means a lot to the other one, that it's both of their dreams in different ways.
Exactly. There's nothing about, like, I'm better, or I've achieved more. It's just like, hey, this is your goal and you did it. Congrats. Lovely. The fame hasn't gone to Estelle's head. Love that for her. Oh, Alyssa also says that Teoh from the farm and everyone else down there want to see her as well.
But they won't let me out onto the road. I tried to go.
Oh, rude. I suppose, she's got to get home. We can't be running off sideways yet.
Estelle was like, no, Joshua is at home. I must go home, and walked back into town.
Her best AI impression.
Exactly.
Faulkner in the bar, I believe he was in the bar, also recalls Shara being in with a guy in a white coat.
Yes.
And mentioned that he sounded drunk before his first drink.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh yeah, that's Olivier. Got him. When he got cornered by Shara and...
Ina,
thank you. When he was caught by both of them, and said that he looked like a downed Velga among a pack of Dynodiles,
Yeah.
which is another one of these fun little, like, rewordings.
With monsters that we've encountered, which is
That's
fun.
pretty fun. I did immediately in the moment go and sort of look up on the wiki what monsters are those, just to have a look at it. I was like, oh yeah, that's fun. The chef also announces the new three-eyed soup, which I don't want to know about that. That's nasty. He makes it sound like there's just eyeballs in it, and I'm not on board. The mine chief, Gaton, not Gaston, I believe it's Gaton.
I think it's Gaton, which means cat in Spanish. No, not in Spanish, but it means cat, I think.
Yes, the mine cat says that they bombed that hole in the mines closed that all the monsters came in through. That was just good to know. I'm glad they cleaned that up instead of leaving it open. He does kind of talk about it as though it's just happened, which is concerning. Armand and Ellie were at home. They've made it back.
Yeah.
Armand's still a little upset that his marriage proposal got interrupted by the coup, whereas Ellie's just like, I'm honestly just happy to be home and like chill out for a second, which I appreciate it because they've kind of...
Yeah, they've been traveling through the whole country.
Yeah, kind of in line with all of the crazy shit that keeps happening to us.
Yeah, they're always in the town, in the place where it happens.
But with no sort of through line, no context, which I love for them. I would love to see a retelling of Sky FC just from their perspective, from the snippets of story that they were experiencing. Like we were having a nice time in the capital, and then there was a curfew, and then like 100 soldiers ran past and interrupted my proposal, and then we came home.
Fanfiction authors, get on this. We need you to write this for us.
We need the regular guy story.
Yeah.
Who else did I run into? Little Uni or Yumi? I can't remember. My autocorrect keeps going crazy on my iPad.
I don't remember which it is, but...
She's one of the little kids, but she mentions that Luke has been talking about Estelle a lot.
Yes.
The whole time she's been gone.
Did you talk to Luke?
I don't think I found Luke. Where was he?
Oh, he was just running in circles around the clock tower.
Maybe I just didn't catch him. What does he say?
He says, he's like, Estelle, you're back. And he starts laughing. He's like, and then he goes, now I shall see the results of my days of training. Estelle Bright, it is time for the reckoning.
Oh my god.
And Estelle's like, what? And it just kind of does that vapid stare that she's been doing a lot. And Luke's like, Estelle, is something wrong? Are you okay? And it's like, okay, wow, Estelle is really visibly not okay. If Luke stopped his little kid bullshit thing to be like, Estelle, what's wrong with you? Why are you okay? Like, that's, I feel like, the biggest sign of, like, just how bad Estelle's vibes are, how wrong her vibes are right now, that Luke is like, I'm gonna stop beefing with Estelle to ask if she's okay, because it's, like, that worrying.
All of his days in training were just in emotional intelligence. He didn't actually do any swordplay. It's just like, the mouth turned down means sad. I should check on that. Well done, Luke.
Good job.
There we go. And that's why we're a team, because I fully missed that half of the whole thing. What else? Renon in the general store is getting new Stragers in, which Estelle's very excited about. But Kevin knows about them too. He's also a sneaker pervert.
Yeah.
So they have that in common. That was a nice little character moment.
That's the one place I missed. I just realized I thought I had gone in the general store already and I had missed it. So thank you. I went to so many buildings and I missed the general store, damn it.
I was just excited to run around.
This is why we're a team.
I also just wanted to see if there's anything in the shop, but you can't shop yet, obviously, because we're in the prologue and we're too busy having a mental breakdown. No, we're not. Everything's fine. Estelle is smiling.
Everything's fine and Joshua's at home.
Yeah. And Estelle, every time she checks in with someone in town and they ask about Joshua, she mentions, oh yeah, he just came ahead of us. He's at home. I've just got to catch up to him.
Yeah.
The range of responses are great. Some people are like, oh, okay. Others are like, oh, that's weird. He didn't stop by and say hello. And more people still are just like, aha, okay.
Mm-hmm. There's a lot of whispered conversations with Kevin that are like,
yes.
Keep an eye on her.
The prime example of that, I went to check in with Father Divine.
Of course.
At the church. He doesn't have much to say at this point, unfortunately.
Not that much.
But he's just like, welcome home, Estelle. She gives her little story about Joshua being at home, and Divine has a side conversation with Kevin. He's like, you're a priest, right? Yeah. Okay. Please protect Estelle in every way you can. And Kevin just goes, don't worry, I'm on it. Like, yeah, it's good. Which Estelle does not register at all. Mm-hmm. I love that even in these scenes, you're getting like hints like, Estelle's not a reliable narrator right now. You shouldn't trust her.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Kevin just met her and replanned his, like, he wasn't coming to Roland. He's just on the airship that goes from town to town. And he replans it and gets off because he's immediately like, this girl is not okay. I can't leave her alone. Like, that's the whole reason he's here. It's because he was like, this girl's not okay. I can't leave her by herself.
Because, yeah, he's going to Bose or something, actually, not Roland, right?
I think he was, just doing tourist stuff. I think he might have been going to Bose, but definitely, I think he was going to Bose.
He said he was on his way to another of the cities at the very least. He's like, oh, it's fine. I'll check out the rustic town and then make my way. But the other person who clocks immediately what's going on with Estelle is Ina, because I stopped in at the Braces Guild.
Of course.
Estelle's still kind of doing her thing, and she just sort of to the side confirms that Kevin's a priest and says, essentially, hey, my friend Estelle is manic right now. Can you keep an eye on her, please? And he's like, got it, buddy. I'm on it.
I think she specifically says she's never ever seen Estelle this out of sorts before.
Yes. Out of sorts is a very kind way of putting it.
Yeah.
Then the last one that I had noted down was Vern over at the hotel.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Who also sort of flags how big of a deal Estelle is, like sort of lifts off some of her accomplishments from the previous game, where Kevin is sort of going, oh...
Martial arts, yeah.
Wow, okay, this chick is, like, yeah, she won the martial arts tournament, she solved the coup.
It's kind of a big deal.
And I don't think they mention it here, but like she's been involved in all these other, like, major resolutions across the country over the past, like... how long does the first game take? Like, a week or two? Like, it's not very long.
Wait, I think it's about 6 weeks, because I think in the prologue they say the Queen's birthday is like 6 weeks away.
Oh, okay, yeah, that would track then. So yeah, still not a very long time to have become like a major linchpin of like countrywide history.
Oh yeah, no, it's crazy. It's wild.
But yeah, I think that was about all I had. Yeah, I don't have any screenshots or anything either. So what other interesting gems have I missed?
All right, well, in the airport... the receptionist guy, the weird, creepy guy who's constantly scoring girls, and he said the thing about Shara having this exotic chocolate skin or whatever.
Gross.
He's still scoring girls, and Estelle when I walk up, he scores Estelle, and Estelle replies, please explain to me in detail exactly how I am 82 points. I want justification for the beatings.
Ooh.
That was great.
That's fantastic.
He gave her 82 points. He said that she was lacking feminine charm, but she's cute. Something like that.
I love this new forthright Estelle, who's just like checking everybody around her. Is like, I am but a girl of 16, but you will justify your words.
Yes, I love it. I went to the mayor's house and found out that Mayor Klaus is still in Grimsel with his wife, which tracks. It would have been weird if everyone had made it back here before we did. So, Ellie and Armand did, but not everyone did. Blah, blah, blah. Oh, right. When you talk to Claire, the one other thing is that she asks where Joshua is, and Estelle has the vacant stare and ... And Kevin whispers like, hey, Missy, ixnay! Which I like that they have pig Latin in Zamaria.
I wonder what they call it. Gourdboar Latin.
Gourdboar Latin, yeah!
We did get a sighting of the Gourdboar in one of the recent first chapter trailers. I think it was the one for Zeiss. And I was so excited, more than any other part of the game. 4K HD Gourdboar.
Now, I can't wait to see them spin. They better spin in a circle. The babies better spin in a circle.
If they don't, I am going to picket the Falcom offices in Japan.
You're going to fly all the way to Japan. I don't know if you've ever been to Japan before, but you'll go for the first time, possibly. Yeah, you'll go to Japan for the first time just to pick it. Gourdboar. Tabitha, who is, I think, Alyssa's mom at the bar. She was upstairs, though. She wasn't in the bar, but I think she's the mom of Alyssa. She's muttering that thanks to Alan Richards, ingredients prices have ... presumably skyrocketed. But I like that little bit of continuity that because of Alan Richards' coup, prices are all a fucking mess. Because there was food shortages and stuff, we remember, at the end of last... because everything was locked down, trade wasn't able to go in and out, so yeah. Oh, also, this guy Radford, who... there's nothing really that stands out about what he does. Like, he's a retired old man. He had beef with his son-in-law, and then there was a side quest when you could help make his relationship with the son-in-law better in the first game. Anyway, he tells us that the big tree in Mistvald Forest apparently has a mischievous spirit inside that creates fog to get people lost, according to folklore.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, I bet that's gonna come up later. I bet we're gonna go there.
Yeah, I did note that line. I didn't jot it down there.
I bet that's gonna be relevant later, so I clocked that. He also mentions that he's gonna spend his retirement woodcrafting in the Verlant tradition, and all I can think of is that lady who was claiming to be selling Calvardian wooden handicrafts. And I'm like, wait, were those just like Verlant specialties that she was trying to pass off as Calvardian? Only a couple other things. In the Orbital shop, Melder says that he's missed Estelle brightening up his shop. And I love a
Aw.
pun on the name Bright, so of course I had to do that.
Love it.
Other than that, his kid Freddy is in Zeiss for training about a new model of tactical orbment.
Oh, yeah.
So just as a little preview that, A, we know there's going to come up later in the chapter or the prologue, and B, I like that Orbital shop. Like, somebody has to go to headquarters to learn about the new models of orbment before they're, like, officially released, which I think is pretty coal.
Yeah, they're sending their Apple genius back to head office to get retrained.
Yes, I love that. Yeah, I think that's pretty much all. Oh, there was the hotel reception guy. You already mentioned him, but he did say that Estelle and Joshua are the pride of Roland, and I think that's very cute, that they're the pride of the whole town.
Yeah, fuck that one guy who went to become a teacher at Genis Academy. Like, these kids are the shit.
Yeah, exactly. Only high school students are prestigious. High school teachers are, like, nothing.
Garbage. Scum. Dirt on my boot.
But anyway, with that, I headed off to the Bright home.
Yes, me too. I only briefly stopped to take a dramatic screenshot in front of the sign pointing to the Bright family home before running in. I'll send it to you later. I think the signs have been updated as well, like the signpost models, because I don't recall there being like a nice little like homemade looking Bright family house sign.
I couldn't say, honestly.
Who knows? Yeah, back home we go.
And Estelle is like, oh, this is our house. It's really nice. I'm going to go and look for Joshua. And as she runs in, Kevin just goes, man, who is this guy? The number he's done on her.
Yes. I thought that was really interesting. Like, he's sort of reading this as, like, Joshua's run off and, like, dumped this girl and, like, messed her up. He's immediately on Estelle's side and is like, Joshua's probably bad.
Yeah. But as she gets into the house, she starts calling for him and looking in different rooms for him. And the cheery music that plays in the Bright house just slowly fades out to nothing as she goes into more rooms and he's not there. And she finally goes into his room and he's not there. She collapses. She's like, I'm such an idiot. And then she says, as Kevin walks in, she's like, she knew deep down the whole time that he was gone for real, but she was holding on to this one bit of hope. And now he's not here. And she's like, I'm never going to see him again. And Kevin pulls, I guess, some of that priestly wisdom out again. He says, it's too early to give up. It sounds like I have no leads on where he might be, and Kevin prompts her to like think back and like you know him so well, you must have like things he said or things he was weird things that happened around him, things that could give you a hint. And she flashes back to a bunch of memories from the finale chapter of the last game. One thing that is very interesting to note is that Weissman's portrait is blurred out when she recalls him.
Yes, she remembers speaking to someone near the rest stop, but she can't remember who. And that's interesting because we obviously saw her have that interaction in the previous game, so she should know. But something's happened after the fact. I also really appreciated in this sequence, she's like, boo-hoo-hoo, I'm sad, to really like reduce it a lot. But Kevin's reaction is like, okay, so what are you going to do about it? Which means he is my spirit animal. Because... Boo-hoo-hoo, what are you going to do about it? That's how I think. I like it.
Love
Good
it.
Kevin. Kevin of the year.
Good. Kevin of the year. Let's hear it for the Kevin of the year.
But she does interestingly remember the magician, if not the person.
Yeah, Joshua talked about, in Joshua's story, he refers to Weissman as a foul magician, and she remembers, and she goes, oh, he's gone to stop the foul magician that he was talking about. She can't figure out who it is. She can't remember that when, she knows that he started acting weird when she got back to that rest stop with ice cream, so she knows that the person who talked to her, who she can't remember the face of, must be, if not the magician himself, like tied to that, to what made him start acting weird. Which is nice, smart thinking, Estelle.
Good job.
As she puts it together, Cassius and Shara walk in, and they're like, you've put it together. Yay. And turns out Kevin contacted the Grimsel Guild as soon as they landed to let them know where Estelle was, and Shara's like, honey, you scared the pants off of us. Like, we were terrified when you disappeared right after Joshua disappeared.
Yeah, that's true, because it hadn't twigged to me in the moment, but from their perspective, going back to that same thing I was just talking about, like the story from other perspectives, like from their perspective, what happened was Estelle woke up, freaked out, and left town. Just like didn't tell anyone, got on an airship, left the province essentially without saying anything or leaving any kind of paper trail. So yeah, fair enough, they are freaking out. It's like, what the fuck happened to our child / mentee?
Little sistery type. Yeah. But Cassius then says that it was his ego talking when he told her to stay away from Ouroboros, and he says, I was simply enforcing my opinion as a man and your father onto you. Scheherazade made that point quite clear on the trip over, so she might have whipped him a bit.
Yeah.
But also, there's new music playing in this scene. It's a new track, I think. Just wanted to flag that. But then Cassius says that he thought he'd prepared mentally for this day when Joshua would leave, but it's worse than he ever could have imagined. And he said what he did about abandoning Joshua because he was terrified that he was also going to lose Estelle. Which is like, imagine, like, that's why he said what he said, and then she disappeared, and he thought he thought that had come true. Like, man. He also says he's going to be really busy rebuilding the military, which means that he won't be able to help Estelle, which means that this is when Ouroboros is going to act, because they'll know he's too busy. But he's like, I really won't be able to help you this time, Estelle. Like, I really won't be able to show up in the last minute in the old ruins and save the day.
Twice.
But we get a big father-daughter hug, and Cassius says, Estelle, I'm counting on you. Bring back Joshua. Bring back my damn fool of a son, please. And Estelle says, okay, I will. And then she goes, piece of cake, which is her victory quote. So I love when characters say their, like, battle quotes, but in the dialogue in, like, the game. I love that, because it just ties it all together. Like, this is the thing they say.
Hey, fun fact, while playing through maybe the latter half of FC, I started getting really freaked out by the voice lines because I was so used to hearing them edited into the show. And so when she's like, okay, we're good to go, I'd be like, all right, we've got to move to the next section. So I Pavlov's dogged myself. I have been self-dogged. So
We launch into the opening cinematic. It's the same melody as Silver Will, as we all know is my favorite song ever, but it has vocals this time, and it's different production, different arrangement. There's lots of airship action, a lot of exciting little teases, and we get the title card, which says A Maiden's Resolve.
I really enjoyed this opening movie because it does reuse some shots from the teaser into SC from FC, which is nice to see. The sort of like, they were clearly building that trailer as they were starting to construct SC, and they're just like, okay, what can we use and what can we combine with like cool concept art and stuff to just be like, hey, everybody get excited. We literally don't have enough material on the ground here to build you a full trailer, but look how cool it's going to be. Here's some airships.
That's all we want. Some trails in the real sky.
It really does look like we're going to be going there, because this is not one of those like MCU trailer situations where you get a really cool shot that just never shows up.
Yeah.
Every part of the animal is used at Falcom. They don't leave anything behind.
Nothing's left in the kitchen.
Not bad.
But yes, after this lovely intro movie, which is quite long and I had to go back and rewatch because I was too busy taking notes during it the first time, we cut to 2 months later in Leman State, or Lemon State, or Leman State. We don't know.
Leman State, as I say it, but we don't actually know. I can't remember if they've said it in later games, and if they've said it with voice acting, so maybe I'll go check YouTube videos of later games to see if... I know some scenes where they probably mention it, but I don't know if they're voice acted, so I'll probably go look that up. I did that for Librl before, when they discovered that Gung Ho was had their dub calling it Librl, and I was like, no, I can prove that in recordings they have said Librl.
Yeah,
they're also calling Jin Zin, and we're not. We're processing, we're grieving, we're mourning.
It's either Jin or Zane, nothing else. These are the only acceptable names. It really does feel like Gung Ho are kind of establishing the Kelvin timeline of Trails, kind of just spinning it off into a new set of movies and saying, yeah, so we can say that Klingons look completely different, or the liberal country is literally called Librl, because nobody can understand a subtle joke, I guess. We need to say it out loud. This is the age of running your life through ChatGPT.
True.
Anyway, we go to the L State, to... what I had written down is Locockle Canyon, which is not Locockle Canyon. I wrote that down wrong.
Locockle is what I have written, and I think that's what the Locle.
Yeah, either way, it's an interesting one. Also a very French name for not the French country. Daybreak is the French country.
I mean, we don't really know about Leman. We don't know that much about Leman State's, like, cultural heritage or whatever. Maybe it's like, France was, like, different sizes at different point in history, right? Napoleon did a bunch of shit.
True. Maybe Leman State is like the New Caledonia of real world. So they speak French, but it's just completely different. Yeah, what is Leman State? Like, I remember in Cold Steel, some subset of the characters who you weren't playing as went to Leman State for a mission or something.
So Leman State is where it's an important place. It's where the Bracers Guild is founded, and it's where Professor Epstein, the Epstein Foundation, is founded. Not Epstein Epstein's in the news all the time right now. This is a very unfortunate naming
Oh,
situation. In the world of trails, Orbunts in the Orbital Revolution was discovered by Professor Claude Epstein. And he died fairly young, but he had 3 disciples who brought his findings to the rest of the world. And a foundation, they don't get along. So the last thing they did working together was they started a foundation in his name. And then they were like, let's fuck off and never talk to each other again. Because we all respect each other and our teacher, but we can't fucking talk to each other. We hate each other.
Yeah, see, I always saw him written as Professor C. Epstein, as though his first name was a secret. So I was going to be like, it's okay that his name is Epstein because the C stands for cool.
No, they didn't name him, like give him a first name or at least reveal his first name for a very long time. I think it was only in Daybreak that they said it was Claude.
Huh, wow. That's a really long stretch to just be like, here's a secret name for no reason. We just couldn't think of a C name at the time. There's also a joke in there somewhere about how the Trails series just loves to call someone just C over and over and over again.
Oh my god, he's the original C. I didn't even realize. The original
C stands
C.
for cool. I guess it is cool to just be called C.
The coolest and most mysterious name they can think of in Zemuria.
Over here in Leman State, the birthplace of the Bracers, the birthplace of the Cool C, not to be confused with the Cool S, but also where the Bracer training grounds are in I was going to say Lococal, the local canyon.
We should just start calling it Lococal, because that's funnier than trying to say Lulokla.
God knows how it'd be pronounced in a Gong-Ho second chapter, so maybe it will be just called Lococal Canyon, because it is fun to say.
It is.
In any case, we're introduced to Estelle and Annalise, who are training here together.
Yes!
Because, as we learnt right at the end of first chapter, Annalise is a senior bracer, but she's only like a few months ahead of Joshua and Estelle, so she's still pretty junior for a senior.
Yeah, she's baby.
So she's here kind of upping her skills as well. It's another cool little sort of animated fight in the overworld where they're just utilizing the sprites they have to kind of make it cool and dynamic. I love it.
It's great.
But then it's time to head back inside for breakfast.
Yes, and we learned there that Estelle, who has a new fit, we'll learn more about that later, but she's got a cute new outfit, but she's been at this training camp for 3 weeks, which is funny because we got the 2 months later, and then immediately it's like, I've been here 3 weeks, and I'm like, what happened to the other 5 weeks, Estelle?
She was just fucking around at home.
So yeah, and after we hear about the fact that she's been here for 3 weeks, we get a flashback to how she decided to come, which is Cassius told her about this camp. He told her about this place. He's like, you don't have to go, but I'd highly recommend it. You really need to brush up on your skills. He tells her that training there includes ruins investigation technique, ranger tracking and survival skills, and counter-terrorist operations. I love that ruins investigation technique is the first thing. It's like, if you're in Zemuria, that's like your top priority as a bracer. That is the most useful skill.
Yeah, they're just like, first day of work, like, okay, as a bracer, the thing you gotta know is you're gonna be crawling a lot of dungeons. So you need to know how to investigate ruins, because that's where you basically live now.
Survival skills are second to that. It's not as important.
Any major bracer mission that evolves past the initial criteria will inevitably end up in ruins. Either emotional or structural. Yeah.
True. And every city has ruins, either emotional or structural. Every city has like an underground tunnel of some kind. They have everybody has an ancient aqueduct that has demons in it, and that a cult maybe used for like warfare 1,000 years ago. Every city.
I do like how diverse Cassius's list of things that you need to know as a bracer are. Also, obviously, he was pressed for time, so he couldn't include things like professional acting, rock collection, cat finding,
yes,
getting tricked by a man who likes mushrooms,
beefing with little kids, but Estelle has that one covered. We got a cute or a nice little line where Estelle says that looking back on, she's like, reflecting on FC, I was really relying on Joshua all the time, and he always kind of guided me to the answer when something happened, because he's CSI Joshua, so now she has to learn to rely on her own judgment. So I do like, because I feel like it would be easy to give a criticism of the first game and be like, oh, Estelle doesn't actually like, Joshua always figures things out and Estelle doesn't. It's like, no, that's part of the story, and that's part of their development, is realizing that, like, so it also forecasts that Estelle is going to have that as part of her character arc in this game, is learning to operate independently of Joshua, at least for a while, until presumably eventually they'll reunite. But we don't know. That could be the end of the game. That could be next game. That could be tomorrow. Like, we don't know yet. But she's got to learn to operate on her own.
Yeah, I do appreciate that, because it's like a very common trope in an RPG to have sort of like the elder character accompany you, who's, you know, a handful of levels higher, more competent, can kind of carry you through fights that would be difficult to complete on your own. And Joshua was kind of filling that role to a certain extent. He was the voice of reason, the voice of knowledge. He knew how to solve all the problems when Estelle didn't, which is great, but then...
He could stab twice in a row.
And you need someone who can double stab to really show you the ropes. But yeah, he's sort of gone, and Estelle kind of realizing that means, oh yeah, I need to learn to be more self-sufficient. That kind of narrative awareness is really nice to see. It's not too winky, but it's just like, no, her brain's going the same place yours was. Like, she's realized that she's a bit wishy-washy and she needs to up her skills, and she's really committing to it.
It also makes me think of, we talked about a lot about last game about how Joshua and Estelle really operate as a unit, right? And Joshua has all the logic and reasoning, whereas Estelle has the emotional intelligence.
Yes.
And it makes you kind of wonder, if Estelle has to learn the logic and reasoning, is Joshua going to learn some emotional intelligence this game?
Would be nice.
Remains to be seen. But it's like, if the character arc is both of them have to learn to be full people on their own instead of two halves of a unit, then theoretically Joshua has to fill out that other side of the skill set. So we'll see.
They were very much sort of like separately the left brain and right brain in sort of what they excel in and what they bring to the table. And now that they're separated, they're kind of feeling the lack of balance from having half of their skull empty and going, okay, probably let's put something in there.
They have to learn to be like a starfish and grow the rest after being cut in half. But we also get Matt's favorite thing ever, which is follow-up on Shara offers to take Estelle shopping, is that Shara confirms that tomorrow, she's like, before you go to camp to train on these super important skills, we're going to go back to the capital tomorrow, and I'm going to take you to the department store to get you a new outfit, because you need new clothes.
I love it because, yes, there was that throwaway line, not even part of the main narrative, it was something you could only catch if you were lucky or thorough. But yeah, Shara and the other girls in the department store in Grimsel who were just chatting away and shopping, and she's just like, oh yeah, Estelle, I'm going to buy you a gift, a new fit for being such a good bracer, for stopping a coup on your first trip around the country. Yeah. And to have that payoff, I was sitting in my room just going, yes, arms up in the air, but for such a nothing notice. And it's a very cute fit. If you'd like to get a closer look at it, simply check the cover art for the episode you're listening to right now, dear listener.
Yes, I'm wearing it.
We have a lovely art piece once again by the super talented and fabulous Tom Oxnam from my home city of Melbourne, Victoria, Australia.
Tom is the best.
We'll have his stuff linked in the show notes as always, but yes, thank you, Tom. You made us look so pretty and strong and cool.
Thank you, Tom. I look so pretty. I have the pretty long anime hair. I love having my pretty long anime twintails that I would never... I have long hair in real life, but no human being should be going or no human can have healthy hair that length. But if you're an anime girl, you can. And now I got to be an anime girl with hair that long that isn't dead for half of the length.
Yeah, that's horse mane hair that Estelle has, for sure. She's taking some sort of growth hormone.
I do use horse shampoo.
Really?
I mean, so I rotate shampoos, because I use one that's a cleansing one, and then I use Mane and Tail, which started out as a horse shampoo, but also they sell a human version, but it's the same formula.
Oh, okay.
It is, but it is horse shampoo. It is the same thing. It has pictures of horses on it, and it is for horses. They just now sell it because it makes your hair grow fast. So I've had it since I was, oh my God, I'm 29, so I've been using it for 14 years, because I was 16, I think, when I started using it. And it was packaged differently back when I started. They were huge hunking bottles, that were clearly for horses.
For horse size, yeah.
So yeah, I do use horse shampoo.
Horse sound.
A third of the time.
That's amazing. For 7 years now, I haven't been able to relate, but I'm very happy for you and your equine hair care. And Estelle must be using only Mane and Tail. In any case, beautiful cover art. Check it out. Thank you, Tom. Back to the video, James. Estelle has a cool new outfit.
Yes, and Estelle, we jump back to the present day where Estelle confirms that Shara did buy her this new outfit, and she's like, I'm not sure colors this girly are really my thing. And I'm like, Estelle, it's blue and orange. Why is blue and orange girly? Are you kidding me?
Yeah, it's orange and teal, and I don't think teal has ever been a gendered color.
How's that girlier than red either? None of those are gendered. If anything, teal is close to blue, which is the typical boy color, but no one thinks of it as a boy color. But I'm like, it's definitely not girly. But Annalise then has a great line where she goes, we may be bracers, but we're girls too. Fashion is important. And then she goes, no, because we're bracers, we have to look great. It's our duty. And I love that that's now part of the bracer, officially now part of the bracer code of conduct. You have to look fly. You have to be dripped out to brace.
Save cat, stop coup, look sick. That's it.
Yeah. Estelle points out that Annalise really likes cute stuff, and Annalise goes, well, yeah, cuteness is justice. It's the law.
Sure, Annalise.
I'm going to believe her. I'm going to believe her that is actually in the laws of, I don't know if that's Leman or Librl, but in the laws somewhere in Zemuria, cuteness is justice. Because, hey, nobody contradicts her.
Yeah, because looking at the selection of personalities in the Bracers Guild, it's clear that there's not any kind of psych evaluation to get this job. Because there are some wild minds at work in the Bracer Guild.
There really are.
You've got Princess Cute here. You've got Shara, the whip demon. You've got Cassius Bright, the occasionally showing up guy.
Yeah.
Then everything in between. But yes, cuteness is part of the Bracer code of operations, for sure.
And Annalise then tells us, she says, I mean, okay, I totally get the appeal of cool older women like Shara. And she goes, but there's nothing, not a thing that can beat a young girl who's dressed up all cute. And I'm like, I'm choosing to believe that she finds that two different types of appeal, right? That she's like, there's something so cute and adorable about kids in a totally, like, not weird way. But I think it's weird that she's contrasting it with, like, and I'm a lesbian for Shara. But I think, it's a weird sentence, but we are not going to read into that the weird way. But I'm going to read into that the confirmation that she's gay for Shara.
For sure. I mean, everyone's gay for everyone in this game, to some degree.
It's true. Annalise takes off, and Estelle is like, gee, she's a ball of energy, and that's the funniest thing for Estelle to say about somebody else ever. Estelle's calling somebody else a ball of energy.
Yeah, Estelle really can't judge, because one thing I did notice, in the room she's staying at here at Le Cockle Canyon, she has 3 extra pairs of sneakers lined up next to her bed.
Presumably Stregas.
And it's like 2 pairs of normal ones and then 1 sort of thigh-high pair, I believe. Mm-hmm. And I was just like, Estelle, you've really changed in the past 2 months, apparently, because I can't imagine her being like a thigh-high fuck-me boot kind of girl.
They could just be like collectibles that she had to get.
Wait, is that an Australianism? Does anyone else call super high boots fuck me boots, or is that just an Australian thing? Have I just really sounded gross and
No, you have not. I was about to say no, I hear that a lot, and then I'm like, I could just hear it from you. It could be that I didn't know it before I knew you. I've known you for a few years now, but I have heard I have heard pieces of clothing and stuff referred to as fuck me things. I don't know if it's specific to boots, but like a fuck me choker or like a fuck me miniskirt.
Okay.
Like, yeah.
Yeah, it's like, particularly it takes my mind to like a PVC boot that goes to the knee or above. That's a fuck me boot, because it's kind of fetishy. I'm not just a I was going to say I'm not just a misogynist. I'm not a misogynist.
You're not just a misogynist.
I'm not just a misogynist. I'm gay too.
I'm a misogynist with a thigh fetish.
God. Thank God I have edit power over these episodes. Yes, so Estelle has a full set of sneakers next to her bed.
All right, but the other comment I have on her sneakers in the room, talking about the video games, I love that they're the only decorations in her room. She has no other, like, everything else is like clearly came with the room. Like, there's a picture of flowers on the wall that like clearly Estelle didn't put there. It's just like, and when I go into the other rooms, they all have a weird like picture of like, you know, like in a hotel room where you get like a random like piece of art on the wall that's like very, you know, looks like the stock photo that they have in the background of a picture frame at the store.
Oh, yeah.
Like those kinds of, and like the bedding is clearly like every room has the same bedding and whatever. But the one decor that she's got is her 3 sneaker pairs all lined up. They're not in the closet or something, like they're right out there. They're part of the decor.
The only other thing in her room is another bow staff. It's not her bow staff because it's blue.
Yeah.
It's like her dad just left his staff behind, blocking off the wardrobe as well. It's like, okay, Dad, I guess I have to keep my sneakers out.
Which is why she can't put her boots there, I guess. Yeah.
Exactly. I just like that she thinks she has so many fashion options while she's hardcore training for 3 weeks. Yeah. No, Estelle, sorry.
Maybe she just wears them out so she actually like breaks multiple pairs of shoes over the course of 3 weeks. And those are the broken ones that she's got on display, like, you know, an open casket ceremony.
That feels almost perverse for such a sneakerhead as Estelle to keep, like, ruined artifacts out. Also, how did she ruin a pair of sneakers so bad that they turned into fuck me boots? I wonder.
Stretching. I don't know.
Wink, wink. All right, let's move on before we get any worse.
Oh, no.
back in the training grounds, the home base, whatever, they are issued new augments. We get new augments.
Oh, right. We forgot to mention the whole reason that the whole morning they're talking about how they have, like, their last evaluation with Kurt today, and they're going to have a big thing, so they had to have a big breakfast to, like, be ready, and they have to, like, go prepare to go on some big, like, test evaluation. We totally forgot to mention that. But yeah, we got our new iPhone model, our new pocket watch phones, and as usual, it kind of fucks everything up because all the systems you've been using are now out of whack. So we get told you have these new tactical ornaments, and they're great. But none of the quartz you already have are compatible with them. So you can either keep using your old ones, but they're not going to be as strong, or you can use new ones and start from scratch again with your quartz collection.
Extremely iPhone coded.
It's so accurate. It's a really good way of doing the, like, your levels aren't, or your stuff doesn't carry over between games. Because it's like, we've all been there.
I'm really sorry. The Magical Pocket Watch 2.0 has switched from Lightning to USB-C, so none of your stuff works anymore.
Exactly.
Unfortunate.
Exactly.
But they do sing out that because it has an additional quartz slot in it, it's now powerful enough that it can replicate Silver Thorn, the super skill that Lawrence was deploying at the end of last game.
Yeah, to confuse everybody.
That indicates that he also had access to advanced technology that was not sort of publicly available yet, because this is also like the first wave of these new augments.
Yeah.
So no one else has them out there in the world.
And yet somehow, Ouroboros
was out there.
Did.
Yeah. So once we get our new augments and learn that we're going to have to replace everything, is it this point where they also do a little tutorial to show you how to equip stuff again? It's just kind of like, get your 2 quartz and plug them in.
I don't remember, because I know that there was a tutorial when you go into the sewers in a few minutes, and I skipped it.
Maybe that's where it is, yeah.
So it might be in there, because I skipped it, and Elise was like, do you want a refresher onto how to use things? And I said, no. And so she said, okay, and then we just jumped to the whatchamacallit, the new craft thing, the new combo craft thing.
Actually, no, I did do that skip as well, so it must have been outside of that.
Oh, no, wait, you go talk to the ornament guy, and he tells you.
Yes.
He's like, now go talk to him, and go talk to the lady for the cookbook, for your mouth memorization technique.
Mouth memorization. Good to know that's still going strong. But once that's all that, I can't wait to see that represented in the actual canon, because surely we have an impact.
Oh my god, there's this adorable image of that was released of Estelle, like, with a chef hat on, like a screen cap. I think I saved it. Hang on, it's like blurred out, but yeah.
That's cute. I can't wait to play that game. It's so close. At time of recording, it is the 2nd of August, so we're like a month and a bit away. It's really not that far.
Mm-hmm. I feel like early in the recording we said the date the last time we were recording, so we may just have some eagle-eyed listeners who are like, hey, different dates. Things get delayed.
We rule!
It's time to deploy to our final mission in Balstar Channel. And I really appreciate that we've continued sort of a legacy of custom choice text with Estelle. It's very flavored, because the 2 options are either we're ready or sweet goddess not yet.
I love that it's not just yes or no.
Oh, but then we also get a very first travel system. Hooray!
Yes!
We can fast travel!
Briefly, we get fast travel, and then they're going to take it away from us cruelly.
I'm sure. We have a little screenshot of, or a little artwork of the Local Canyon. Don't know what that is. Mm-hmm. But it has the multiple points on the map. The Guild Lodge, where we just came from, Balstar Channel, where we're headed, and then also St. Croix Forest and Grimsel Fortress. It's all sort of in this little, like a valley or something. Very pretty. Also, it has a symbol in the corner, which I thought was meant to be a compass. It's like the number 4 with an N on one point. And I'm not sure if it's meant to be a signature or a compass, because if it's a compass, it's very badly drawn.
Send me a screenshot. I do not remember. Okay, yeah, I think that's meant to be showing where north is, but that is a weird compassy thing. But I do think the N is north. Though I don't know if it's meant to be a 4 or if it's meant to be like a...
It looks like a Nordic rune to me. That's the problem.
It does.
Just like an obscure occult symbol on the map.
Oh my god, it's for East Brave Nordics. They're promoting it 20 years ago.
A 20-year crossover in the making. But yeah, we get a little map, we get fast travel. I was so excited.
Mm-hmm.
Even more excited to know they're going to take it away from me because that's very RPG.
On-brand.
I love it. But yeah, that's all I have before we head off to the channel. Did you have anything else to add before we go on our mission?
No, I have just notes when we get to the channel. I think we've covered everything so far, yeah. We get to the channel, and basically we have to navigate it because Ruin's exploration technique is, of course, the most valuable skill a Bracer can have. We're told our mission is to retrieve something confidential from the depths, which is kind of a cute parallel to our junior Bracer test when Cher was like, you have to retrieve something confidential, like something, and it was like the real test was, will Estelle open it, or will Joshua quiet her impulsive thoughts? And so, yeah, Kurt's just telling us, you gotta go do that and navigate. So we say, okay, that sounds good. I don't have many notes from navigating the channel because it's a big-ass sewer area with, like, a lot of mechanisms where it's like, you go here and take the switch and then a bridge will show up and you have to try and... Like, it takes a while, and not much of interest is happening other than we get these new combination crafts that I did not write what they're called down, but basically you, two people can join together and do a super attack.
Chain crafts, there
we go. 2 or more people. And I wrote one chest message that I loved, which was, for sale, reviving bomb never used. Which, for those who don't know, is a reference to Ernest Hemingway, who says he can tell a story or a tragedy in 6 words. For sale, baby shoes never worn.
Yeah.
So it's a reference to that, and I love it because it's so specific and so dumb, and so I love it.
I am super familiar with the baby shoe story because it is one of these like core elements of a circle of Australian podcasts that I listen to.
Oh my
All
God.
of these Australian comedians who are just like obsessed with this story. So just to rattle off a few, if you want to listen to some Australian podcasts, here you go. BigSoftTitty.png. I'm going to start there. The Goblin Podcast, as I know it. Tom Walker, who's now on Australian Bake Off, and Demi Lardner. 2 comedians who are married, who are goblins, who love each other, who are goblins. Demi can never remember the baby shoe story. There have been multiple episodes of the podcast where she's tried to remember it wrong, and it's always like, baby shoes never worn. Like that. So I've heard that story many, many times. All the other Australian podcasts are Dragon Friends, which is a D&D podcast, Free to a Good Home, which is about classifieds and internet ads. They're obsessed with it. And most recently, a new show called Baby Shoes.
Oh my God.
Which is a motherhood podcast about 2 mums who have in sort of their first year or 2 of motherhood.
That is a really dark choice for a motherhood podcast.
So they're just talking about all the things they get advertised online and how stupid they are and whether or not they're going to buy them as mums. Also, the theme song for it is written by Tom Cardy, the internet's favorite musician.
Oh.
So, yeah, and they do have a song that is based on baby shoes.
Oh my God.
It's like, baby shoes, never worn, so sad, especially the price tag, is how the song goes. Yeah, anyway, complete aside,
my cousin teaches at a university. I won't specify, but he teaches English literature, and when that thing comes up, he's like mad. He's like, it's not a story. Technically, it's something else. I don't remember what, which is quite funny. But my grandfather, I went for lunch. It was one of my grandparents' birthdays or something like that. Like, a bunch of us are all there for lunch, and around their dining room table, and my grandfather goes, could anyone tell a story in 6 words or less? And my grandfather's the kind of guy who like plans out the topics he wants to talk about. When he was younger, he would like send people like, read this article or listen to this special on CBC radio, and then we're going to talk about it at lunch. Like, he plans his topics and he questions people. But so he did this, and I went, for sale, baby shoes never worn. He was so mad that I knew his big punchline. He was planning to wow us all with this, and I was like, nah, I'm on the internet and I have an English major. Like, can't fool me. Can't get me, baby.
Double doomed, yeah.
Anyway, with that, after our 15-minute segue about baby shoes.
And hey, enjoy that list of podcasts. I'm very sorry if you listen to Big Soft Titty. I did get a couple of chests, I believe, because we're back to the wonderful chest messages. So I had a couple of chest messages that I noted down that I thought were fun. Oh, a small spider skitters from one side of the empty chest to the other. It's actually kind of cute. And no, it's not. Spiders suck. I hate them.
No, it's not. It's not. Thank you.
Another chest who just yells at you for taking his contents. He's like, oh sure, just take it. My name's Sven, by the way. I bet asking my name never even crossed your mind, did it? He deserves to have his stuff taken, honestly. And also the one that, like, giggles and says how naughty it is that you're opening it again. That's a horny treasure chest right there.
It really is. I like how it's clear, I think, that, like, when translating FC, they were, I think, largely just thinking, like, occasionally somebody might click, like, look at us, accidentally hit the same chest twice, and we'll have a fun message, but it won't be, like, they weren't thinking ahead as much, but there's not that many, like, really special bespoke ones, whereas in SC is when they really start putting, like, wild chest message, like, they start getting more creative with the chest messages.
For sure. And I'm loving it because, I have, like, 4 or more saved from this first dungeon. The only other one I had was, in all caps for some reason, treasure chest advertising for the low price of 900 mira per month. Yeah, they're clearly having more fun with it.
What's so funny is that I have no idea. For all I know, that is a low price in Zemuria for advertising space. Like, who knows what the rates are there?
Well, I mean, a first aid drink is less than 1,000 gold. It's like 200, 300. So,
sure.
Yeah, I just enjoy that they obviously got good feedback from the translation of the first game.
Yeah. And
incorporated that because, I'm going to have so much more fun this game around, I think.
It's going to be great.
Yeah, what else did we have? I was happy to start at level 35.
Yes.
We're starting the tradition of beginning each subsequent game at sort of a higher level.
And Annalise started at level 40, whereas Estelle, I think, was 35. And I like that by the end of the prologue, Estelle had caught up to Annalise.
Yeah, they're sort of scaled.
It's kind of a nice, like, mechanical storytelling bit that Annalise starts out ahead of Estelle because she's been a bracer for longer, but by the end of the prologue, they're on even ground. I thought that was kind of a cute way to tell that that's what's happening without anyone ever saying out loud that that's what's happening. It's just like, you watch the numbers. You know that that's what it means.
Yeah. But yeah, so there's not too much to say in Balstar Channel. We just kind of get a refresh on mechanics. We get a monster guidebook thing. I did appreciate that the first time that they bring it up and say, okay, now write everything down you know about the monster. The quote is confident penciling.
I love it. Well, with Estelle's smirking face, which is always a great face.
I also have a quote here from Annalise, and I think it's one of her combat sort of victory chants. I just have, I'm invincible, or am I?
Yes, I love it. She's so cute. I love Annalise. She's one of the plushies that the new Bracer Guild merch store is making.
Yes, I saw that.
Because she's just like a fan favorite, because she's so fun.
I didn't realize. I guess I
she's just so
haven't
silly.
Noticed her in subsequent games because I didn't know who she was. So if she has appeared,
shown
I
up
haven't really registered
in. I don't think she's shown up since. I think she's in 3rd, and I think that's the last appearance.
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
She's been mentioned, but she hasn't been seen.
So coming back to Balstar, one of the things I really enjoy is that even though this is like our intro tutorial dungeon, there are 2 mechanics in play already. We have the combination of bridges and draining water in this dungeon. So 2 different sort of interactables. You've got to sort of deploy and alternate bridges, and then you change the water level at another point. It's pretty complex. It's nice to see them sort of layering up stuff like this so immediately. It makes me feel like the dungeon design is going to be a lot more interesting and diverse.
Dynamic,
in second chapter.
They do love a good sewer throughout the whole series. A good aqueduct. This is a lot better than Grimsel Sewer, even though it is also confusing and big, because it's at least more interesting, I guess. Or it's a little more...
And it's also more of a straight line.
Yes, it's good. But yeah, we at the end of it, we do find Kurt, who is now playing the role of like an enemy. Like she's also trying to get the confidential documents, so we have to fight him to get the confidential documents. Like it's just role playing it, but it's part of the test. So we fight him with his big fuck off spear. I mean, he has the same things that he had when we fought him in the tournament. Like he has those weird like arts that aren't arts that he casts. And he's really good at throwing you across the whole arena. Like he has a move that like throws your character all the way to the other end of the space.
Luckily, he's also weak to magic. Magic like, I don't know, amnesia spells. Burn. Yeah, so let's not forget, we have our very first second chapter.
Cool title alert.
Because Kurt is revealed to be the artful tactician, which, sure, that's a title.
Sure.
Mr. Plans.
Yeah, Mr. Plans, artful tactician. I like that it's a really silly name when you think that it's because he casts arts. But artful, that's a really funny way to like refer to someone casting arts, but it sounds like it's like his tactics are artful, but also he's good. He has special arts, Eastern arts. I learned later that they're like an Eastern technique.
Yeah, so sorry, it's not Mr. Plans, it's Mr. Fancy Plans.
Fancy pants and fancy plans.
we beat up Mr. Fancy Plans. It was challenging, but it wasn't too hard.
It was good for a first boss. I found it was like a good first boss to for the game. Like, it wasn't overwhelming, but there was some challenge. It wasn't just you weren't calling it in at the same time. You had to think about what you were doing, but it also wasn't. You probably don't have to restart.
It's not a 1S craft boss either, so it's nice to kind of have a little bit of challenge, a teaser, an amuse-bouche, you could say.
Yes, we head back to the lodge.
Back in the lodge, I have a note that Annalise was in her bedroom talking to a toy bear.
She is. Oh, before that, we have a bit of dinner with Annalise, though, and she has some things to say.
Oh, I didn't capture any of this.
Oh, it's just a few interesting things that apparently Annalise is an F-ranked bracer, which I think is really funny because we were saying last when we found out about the bracer ranks last game, you're like, no one's gonna go around saying they're an F-ranked bracer. Well, Annalise is one. Kurt is B, but almost A. Apparently, he's expected to be promoted very soon.
Yeah.
Estelle does tell Annalise. Annalise gives her a little pump-up speech, and Estelle says, I'll bring Joshua back, even if I have to tie a leash to his neck and walk him home. Which made me laugh.
Whoop.
There, we know what they're into.
I think you're saying a little too much there, hon.
A little bit. But she also says that no matter how tired she is, a good night's sleep always seems to charge her right back up. And I felt like that was a meta joke about how sleeping works in the game, like to rest you all the way up. Because Annalise is like, do you want to skip morning training tomorrow after, having a big day? And I was like, no, a good night's sleep, going to sleep will charge me right up and I'll be as good as new. And I'm like, there's a meta joke about the game mechanics.
But also kind of like a reference to Estelle maturing a bit, because first chapter Estelle absolutely would have taken the sleep in. And now she's more committed to the job, she's more committed to bettering herself and kind of being the best she can be so that she can be the best at beating the crap out of Joshua when she finds him.
It's also vaguely foreshadowing for a choice you're going to have to make in like 5 minutes related to sleep.
Yeah.
But we'll see that. But yeah, then everyone goes to their rooms and I go talk to people. We have Annalise talking to her bear, as you said. Kurt is reading war treatises from the Far East.
Okay.
And says that his grandfather is from the East and emigrated to Librl, and the special arts he uses are an Eastern technique passed down by his grandfather. And he says, I don't know of any other practitioners, but it's possible that there's plenty of them out Far East. I just don't know. But that learned, and I guess I didn't talk to him when I played the game before, because I didn't know this fact about Kurt. I think I knew that he had Eastern ancestry, but I didn't know that his arts were an Eastern technique or whatever. So,
was there anyone else to talk to other than Kurt? I can't remember if I did the rounds. I only really noted Annalise.
No, it was just Kurt and Annalise, I think. And then there's one door that's locked, and then I think the cook lady might have still been there, but they didn't have anything new to say.
Yeah. Another cool Estelle choice for dialogue options when you go to bed, though. Her options are stay up or slumber with an exclamation mark.
Yes, that's how I feel every time I go to bed.
Finally, time for bed. We can rest and relax and recuperate. Oh no, wait.
Oh, you hear gunshots and violence, and then you get another Estelle choice, and I don't have it written down. Did you screenshot it?
Oh,
it was get up or don't care, slumber.
Oh, I didn't notice that one, but yeah, I think it was pretty much that. It's just ignore it or wake up.
Yeah, but they were funny because it was Estelle can either wake up or she can don't care, slumber, again in all caps. And I picked that and then realized that was a BP choice, and that if you do the slumber thing, you lose BP. And so I quit, thinking I had just saved. But then I loaded it and realized I had last saved at the beginning of Balstar Channel, so that I had to do that whole thing again. I was so sad. But the things we do for BP.
Oh yeah, can't be missing BP. I'm gonna really shoot myself in the foot here and say that I'm gonna finish this game having completed everything this time. I'm not gonna miss anything. Look at my hubris. Isn't it gonna be fun when it fucking crushes me? But yeah, we wake up. We have an attack. A blue samurai, who I had written down as the Cyan Mirai. Which is very uncomfortable to say, but I love it. You get to fight the Cyan Mirai, and you get extra BP if you actually beat them instead of just getting through the fight. I got the extra BP. I beat the shit out of that.
Me too, because we're so talented and special.
Yes, I'm a strong, powerful pair of women.
Not that it matters other than the BP, because then they get joined by a partner who throws a smoke bomb.
Yes, a lady samurai pops in, tee-hee-hees, smoke bombs, and leaves. So that's kind of her whole deal. Yes, it's like a knockout bomb.
So we wake up in a forest. We are not stripped naked, but we don't have our gear. We do still have our quartz, though, which is funny. Like, I'm like, surely you would have stolen the more valuable quartz, especially since these are the new fancy ones. It's not my, like...
These attackers might not be familiar with the iPhone 2.
You know, you're right.
So they don't even know what that is. And it wouldn't be compatible with their phones, so they didn't bother.
Meanwhile, Estelle cannot do her things unless she gets her specific bow staff. She can't apparently just rip, like, a branch off of one of the trees in the forest and use it as a big stick.
Ironically, when you go into your equipment menu, though, it does default to the practice weapon versions that it always does if you unequip your weapon. So she does just have sort of like a proto staff, but she just refuses to use a tree branch specifically.
You can get, if you go check the tent, you can find some, like, some healing items in there.
Yeah.
And then basically, you and Annalise are, like, trying to find your way out of this forest. It's a place that you've apparently come before for training, but, like, you don't know your way around it that well.
St. Croix Forest.
Yes, and you need to find chests scattered throughout that have all your gear that's been stolen from you, because these Jaegers were nice enough to put everything in a chest, kindly, in a monogram chest. We get our way through it eventually, and then at the end, the female samurai, the female Jaeger is there, and she's fighting us, and she gives you a chance, like, you can say, no, I'm not going to fight her, I'm not ready, and turn back and prepare. But she's like, okay, I'll just wait here before I shoot you full of holes or whatever.
Yeah. This horny lady is shooting at us, and is just giving us a chance to go back. Estelle's like, a woman?
Yeah.
As though she's shocked to see a female combatant. I also appreciate that if you do backtrack, which I did because I was just like, oh shit, I better make sure I've got my shit in order. The options when you sort of reapproach her are either keep preparing or bash her face in.
Amazing.
If you do choose bash her face in, then Annalise pretty much goes, okay, let's bash her face in.
I love that. That's amazing. I just went and fought her right away. I was like, I can probably do this, so I didn't think about it. She's kind of similar to Kurt, a lot of her moves, except that she's keeping her distance from you the whole time because she has a gun, like, distance weapon. So you have to, like, get up close to her. She's not terribly difficult, but she's a bit harder than Kurt because of the whole, she can throw you across, she can throw you across the way, and also she's keeping her distance anyway, so. Yeah,
what else did I have about her? Not much. I did get a couple of chest messages as we sort of go around collecting our equipment.
Ooh.
But before that, when we do get smoke gas bombed and knocked out to begin with, horny Jaeger woman says, "Nighty night, little kittens."
Yes, like Olivier.
Yeah, it tells me she comes from the same school of combat as Olivier. What a weird influence to have on this random Jaeger.
Yeah.
But the chest messages as you're going around, ironically, one of the ones that has your equipment that's been stolen in it says, "You ever wonder if the items in these chests were meant for someone specific? And you have the nerve to take them anyway. How rude."
Like, yes, they're mine, bitch. Of all the times you gotta pull this card.
These are my shoes.
I'm just stealing it back. These are my Stragas.
Because that is the wild thing. Like, they take all your equipment, which means they take your shoes. So you're walking around in this forest barefoot for the first half. What else do we have?
My notes pick up when we go back to the lodge, where we do some CSI Joshua ourselves. You have to, like, inspect a bunch of points, some blood, some broken glass and stuff, and basically figure out that they took the hostages somewhere else. They didn't kill them all, and they didn't stay here. So we figure out that they must have gone to Grimsel base, because that's a more defensible location, and conveniently there's an old military base, or I think they say it's a base that's owned by the Bracer Guild for, like, training operations, and they must have, like, commandeered it to use for their whatever Jaeger purposes. Yeah, we have mentioned it, I think, in this episode already, that Jaegers are professional mercenaries, I think in the earlier part of the episode. But yeah, we go off to Grimsel base to get them back.
One thing I will note is before we go off to Grimsel, that the Robert who comes in, as we've done sort of all of our investigating, he sort of walks in and goes, "Duh, what happened?" as he's standing right next to a huge bloodstain.
Yeah. He's so mad about the phone getting wrecked, too. He's like, oh my god, they bashed in the phone. Because they bashed in the phone so that we couldn't call for help from call for reinforcements from the Bracer headquarters.
We must remain diligent.
At Grimsel base, I wrote, "Demented bunny monster, I think it farts on us." Because there's a bunny monster there, and one of his moves, I think his move is just, like, farting toxic fart on us. And we get, like, damage from it and, like, statuses.
Nature is amazing. What do I have for Grimsel Fortress? Yep, so it's a training facility. It's the first of many sort of custom-built dungeons for training, apparently, that will recur in this series. One thing I really like, there is one segment of this dungeon that is in the dark. It's like very, very low light in a way so you can just see like doorways and kind of tell if you're bumping into something. But one of the chests that you find has night goggles, which is just a generic accessory, which I believe existed in first chapter as well.
I think so. Yeah, for stopping blindness.
Yeah, it stops blindness. But if you specifically equip it in this dungeon, you can now see in the dark in that night area.
It's so great because they're night goggles. It's perfect.
They don't really mention this or suggest this until later on when it's already not useful information. I think they sort of mention it just offhandedly later in the dungeon. I put them on and I was so excited. I was like, that's what I want to see. Custom interactions with the world. Night goggles that work at night. It's amazing.
So good.
Yeah, so the darkness also affects you in fights as well. So if you do get into a fight in that dark room, all of your party, so Annalise and Estelle, have blindness, unless one of them has the goggles equipped, in which case you don't get it.
So Annalise was still blind, but my Estelle had it. So Annalise was blind, but Estelle could see.
Yeah, my reasoning was, A, Estelle's the main character, B, she's got some nice like area effect attacks, so being the unblind one, she can sort of knock people around with a hurricane and whatnot. After that, we find an ID unit, which introduces a new concept where we have usable key items, which is odd. It's like specifically makes you go into the menu and select the item when you're in the place that it's meant to be used to activate it. They call them usable event items specifically, and they have like a little hand icon.
It's very strange that they make you do that. It's like, I think they're setting up the idea that it won't always be obvious what you need to use.
Yeah.
I think that's what they're doing. I don't remember if they use it more like interestingly or not. But in a tutorial at least where there's only one possible item that you can use and one place you can use it, it's like, why do I have to go through the extra step? Whereas I could see, I guess the idea is that eventually you won't know, but you're just trying things out. But it's still not as clear.
It's a little clunky in the same way that the chain crafts are a little bit clunkily introduced mechanically. Like it's not immediately obvious how to use it.
Yeah.
Because the on-screen prompts aren't good. In the same way, it seems like something like, sure, an adventure type game where you've got all your inventory, your Monkey Island or whatever, but it really feels like you should go up to this item and one of two things should happen. You should either interact with the interactable and say, do you want to use the item that applies here? Or do you want to look at your list of key items that are usable and pick which one? Yeah,
because it's not even clear, like, there's nothing in the overworld to indicate, like, use an item here.
Yeah.
And I think that's what makes it feel so weird. Like, that it's like, if you didn't have Estelle thinking, maybe I should try the item here, like, you would have no reason to think items could be used to interact with.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't look any different from every other non-interactable piece of machinery in the whole game.
In one of the more modern games, you might have like a highlighted circle on the ground for the interaction zone or something like that. But it's not communicated in any way. And like the graphics are all pretty unified, so there's no clear indication that this is an interacting object versus a background object.
Exactly.
So unless you're just kind of like going around and smashing interact on everything, I can see a possibility where this works out badly the longer the game's on and the more complex they try and make these, because this kind of stuff I find in games, it's not even about having a logic to it, it's about having a logic that's universal. And if the person designing this, or the team designing this, was a little too far down their particular rabbit hole and away from sort of the general consensus of how you might react to this, then it is going to cause problems unless you're thinking on their wavelength.
Yeah, exactly.
Luckily, we have walkthroughs out the wazoo, so we don't have to worry about that. But just from like a design perspective, I'm like, it's a cool idea. It's just I can see it kind of breaking bad depending on how well the rest of this game goes. But in any case, I found the ID card. I did appreciate that when you recheck that chest specifically, the chest message is, this is the 56th chest you've opened. Congrats. Nah, just kidding. I'm not even counting, which is a lie. That's a straight up lie. These games always count how many chests you open. Open every chest.
I mean, maybe that chest isn't counting yet, but the game sure is.
Yeah. Oh, there was also one early in the dungeon that I liked, which was just, the chest is empty, but it has served you well. Instead of opening it, you give it a gentle pat on the head.
Yes.
Which is fun, but also just like, can you imagine being Annalise standing next to Estelle as she opens a chest, takes the contents, closes it, stops for a second, and then it's just like, pat, pat, pat. Good chest.
You know what? Anybody else, I would agree, but Annalise, yes, I could totally imagine Annalise being like, it is a cute chest, isn't it? Oh, hi, Chesty. Like,
yeah, next chest, Annalise opens it and just gives it a kiss on the top after she takes out the EP potion or whatever.
She puts a bow on it because it needs to be more fashionable.
This is how we say that we've checked this one.
Oh, right. We do have, I meant to say, if there's one cute scene at one point here, I don't remember where it is, but I think when they're first interacting with the whole, like, turn the power on or open gates or whatever, where Annalise and Estelle talk about the phrase carefully and deliberately, which is, like, they were both taught, like, proceed carefully and deliberately, and they both kind of reflect on, like, our mentor, like, my mentor, I think Annalise's is Shara, and Estelle's is her helper Joshua, like, they're both operating alone for the first time as the chaotic dits of their respective teams, and they're both kind of in the first time having to operate without their, like, their rational-minded helpers, and it's just kind of a cute scene where they're both, it's kind of like they're both kind of in a coming-of-age scenario.
Yeah, like Estelle and Annalise, for sure, the deliberately half of the duo, and Joshua is the carefully.
Yes.
Maybe that's just the bracer titles that Joshua and Estelle should go. Joshua the careful and Estelle the deliberate.
Yeah, I approve this.
But yes, once we've finished carefully and deliberately working our way through Grimsel Fortress, it's time to fight the guy samurai, the Samurai.
Mm-hmm. He's got a big spear, and he uses some arts that help buff him up, and it's very familiar. He's a very familiar fighter. And oh my god, I wonder if that's because he fights exactly like Kurt.
Yeah, is it like the note that I wrote about 2 minutes into this dungeon was like, this is all fake, right?
Yeah.
This is all just made up. But they've got him dressed up. This, I was going to say soldier. No, what's the word? Jäger. This Jäger all dressed up. He's got his spear. He's got his spells. He keeps shouting in German, which I really appreciate.
Yeah.
Eins, zwei, drei. Which is just 1, 2, 3. He's counting how many times he hits you. Honestly, a pretty tough fight.
Yeah, it is.
I had Estelle put down for the first time in a fight at this point. And I just barely scraped getting her back alive so that she would get XP, yeah.
I had Annalise go down, yeah.
Also, the first fight where I've really actively engaged with using items, like the EP restoring items.
Need those.
I've played through the entire Trail series, rarely ever using those items.
Mm-hmm.
Partly because I never really engaged with spells before playing Sky, because, like we've covered, they're not really the focus in the way that crafts become over arts down the track. But yeah, I was actually using, I can't remember what they're called. EP what? What are they called? Not EP potions.
Charger, I think.
EP chargers, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking about EP cut because, again, as a complete aside, in Daybreak 2, I just figured out a way to do EP cost minus 100% on one of my characters, so they are now just like a spell casting powerhouse, which really feels like a return to form, having played Sky, that I'm finally engaging with magic with just like a never-ending spell hell.
Now, magic is still really powerful in later games. It's just that crafts are easier to get going, whereas magic, it's not.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, it takes a while to really get magic at its full capacity, but it is still, don't worry, very powerful in the later games once you figure out what you're doing. It's just, yeah.
But yeah, so I scraped my way through the fight just barely. So after finding the previous fights, like, challenging but not too much to worry about, which is a note like 2 points up in my document, suddenly I'm like, shit, that's fucking hard. Beat the crap out of this Jäger, and then, oh my god, it's a reveal.
The lady is my wife, Karna! The Lady Jaeger!
It's Karna!
And this one's Kurt. But Karna is the one we're really excited to see. I mean, we like you, Kurt, but you're not Karna. Yeah. And Grant is the other one, just to round it out.
Yeah, there were 2 boy samurais. They're just kind of interchangeable. They're different weapons, but whatever. So it's Karna and Grant and Kurt.
Annalise must feel so betrayed that they were like her squad in the FC finale, and now they're all like, it's all like a test, like a real simulated scenario.
Yeah, also impressive of them to be able to vary up their combat styles enough to not be immediately spotted by someone who's fought alongside them. Good on them. I did actually think initially that the female Jaeger was going to be Shara because she's horny and she quotes Olivier.
Yes, this is true.
How is that not Shara?
I guess that maybe that's part of the deception. Because even if you catch on that it's Bracers putting on a show, you might think it's Shara, so that it's still a surprise.
Yeah. So if Kana is quoting Olivier, there's an interpersonal relationship that we haven't explored, and I'm immediately curious about. How do those two get on? That would be fascinating.
I really want to see them talk. I want to see that. We passed the test, though, which is good news.
Yeah, they tell us that they wanted us to see what it was like to fight Jaegers, even though they're banned from operating in Librl. It's still important to know what it's like to fight against a Jaeger corps, because clearly they can rock your shit if you're not careful.
And they're active everywhere else in the continent, and they are, like, sworn, like, enemies of the bracers. Like, they are regularly in combat against them, and it's like, if you're operating as a bracer, you're not just a Librl bracer. Like, you may be operating outside Librl, and it is a really important thing to know.
Yeah, and she did sort of remind us earlier in the prologue that, like, now that she's a senior bracer, she's not tied to one location, and she can sort of operate roamingly.
Yes.
So it is something that she's going to need to consider, because Librl's not the only state that has problems, sorry to say.
Yeah.
I also realized that they're both so shocked by this reveal that I'm so smart, I saw it coming, whatever. But it's, like, clear that in that list of classes being run at the Bracer Training Grounds, detective work wasn't one of them, because I don't think this was that big of a secret.
No. They used up all their CSI skills on figuring out that they needed to go to Grimsel. Something to think about for the Bracer curriculum. But yeah, and then that's all for the prologue. Just kidding. A bunch of other shit happens. It's just not concerning these two. We get, meanwhile, in Librl Kingdom, location unknown. A strange kid gets off a red airship. He's got shoulder-length green hair. He's got kind of like a Matt's dancing. We know this character. We're excited.
I know who this is, and I'm excited, yeah.
He's got kind of like Joker, like, clown makeup-ish going on, like some weird face makeup. Not like full clown, but he's got like a weird mark on his thing, and kind of like there's a bit of a jester element to his look, if that makes sense. Not like a full jester, but like a little bit of, I guess, the coloring or something. He's called Campanella, we learn.
Yes.
And Luve shows up. Campy calls him Blade Lord, so that's a cool title alert now. Blade Lord. And we learn that Campy handled the attacks in Erebonia to draw out... Well, I just wrote C, meaning Cassius, but there's too many C's in this game. But Cassius was too competent, and as a result, Campy is what I'm calling Campanella because it's easier to type, quote, broke one of their Jaeger corps. I guess Ouroboros' Jaeger corps got broken.
The Jester Jaeger Corps.
Yes, which is the one that Lawrence is, was supposedly a part of in his, like, biography as part of the intelligence division.
I also noticed that, metagaming a little bit, but if you've seen the cover art for our show or the cover art for the game, you may notice that the symbol on the airship is very similar to the symbol on Joshua's shoulder.
Mm-hmm. It's familiar stuff.
Don't know what that means, but
it's there.
I have pattern recognition, so I recognize that pattern.
We learn the name, Weissman's there too.
Mm-hmm.
And we learned some other names of people, a bunch of cool title alerts for people who we don't know who their real names are, but we learned that the Phantom Thief, the Direwolf, the Bewitching Bell, and the Angel of Slaughter, so that's 4, are all here in Librl, all, according to Louve. They've all arrived. They're all here. It sounds like they're all operatives for Ouroboros. Mm-hmm. They've all assembled. The non-Avengers have assembled. The Phantom Thief Bleu Blanc, they say. So we now know the Phantom Thief B. I mean, it's pretty obvious. The Phantom Thief, whose name starts with a B. Phantom Thief B is a member of Ouroboros. And Campanella confirms that he's been, or maybe it's Luffy says it. One of them says that he's been in Librl for a while, whereas the others of that list have just arrived. So,
Seeker, I've been in Librl for quite a while.
Joshua is still evading Ouroboros, and we get one more cool title alert. Guys, Weissman calls Campanella the Fool.
Title alert.
Yes.
And then we get told that he's a representative of the Grandmaster of Ouroboros, the head of the whole thing. He is Enforcer number 0, Campanella the Fool. Now, for those of you who keep track of things, in the Major Arcana in Tarot, 0 is the Fool.
I was curious, yeah.
So Enforcer number 0, the Fool. Very deliberate, yeah.
Interesting. I will also note, Weissman shows up in a new look. He's dressed as a glitzy Vegas priest, as far as I can tell.
Exactly. Because all priests have to have glitz in this world, but he's an evil priest, so we don't like him just because he has a new fit. He's still bad.
He's just copying Estelle, basically, so, like, get over it, dude. In any case, we're finding out that a bunch of people are in on whatever's happening at the moment for their own ends. So We are looking at the Anguis's gospel plan unfolding.
Gospel plan. We've heard of a gospel.
I wonder if it could be related.
And that's it for, we get that little thing of a villain teaser, but that's not it for the prologue, because then, meanwhile, Erebonian Empire near the border. We see the Capua
120 Selgay from the border, they mentioned specifically.
So it's like 1.2 kilometers, I think.
1.2k away from the border.
The Capuas are walking around some burnt-ass ruins, and Josette is running around being like, where is he? Come on! So Joshua is looking for. But we find him before the Capuas do. He is in a new fit, which you can see again in our new cover art that Matt's modeling with his big dramatic scarf, and he seems to be leaving flowers at a grave, at a gravestone marker.
Yeah, like a memorial stone type thing, yeah.
Yeah, and he says, Karen, I'm home. Now, for those of you who might remember, in the first game, when Estelle and Joshua are in drag as maids, and they each choose a fake name when they're getting questioned by some intelligence divisions guy, Estelle gets to choose, but Joshua says Karen. And this is the same name. So just pointing that out. But we don't learn who Karen is at this point. We just learn Karen is who he's talking to, who's presumably someone dead.
I'm assuming actually he's just talking to his drag persona. And it's like, this memorial stone is the place where I feel comfortable. I'm home, Karen. Yes, mama God.
But the Capuas then find him. And Dawn, the oldest, says that they used to live in Erebonia, but they never heard anything about a town burning to the ground like this. And that's, they're like all really shocked by this. Like, this is clearly, it was a small town, but clearly, like, you would hear if a town was completely burned to the ground.
Yeah.
And no one has heard of this.
We saw an orphanage burn down and all of the neighboring towns knew about it, so...
A whole town? That's insane. But John asks what this place was called, this town. And Joshua says, Hummel. That's what it was called, ... once.
We who know the name Hummel now.
Exactly. That's what Louvet said to Queen Alicia. You have no right to pity me, you who know the name of Hummel.
In that context, we didn't know if it was a person, a place, or an event, or whatever. It was just a proper noun. And now we know for sure it's a burnt down village. Where Joshua's drag persona lives.
Then Joshua says he's got this very cold persona going on right now. He's like, he saved the Capuas from the Royal Army. He says, just because I needed useful pawns. It's clear the Capuas aren't kind of totally buying his shtick. They're playing along. Or at least Don is like, okay, sure, tough guy. Like, he doesn't say that, but that's kind of his attitude.
Yeah.
Don calls him Mr. Chessmaster, but they're all kind of like, they're all acting like they don't actually think he's as cold and as cold and detached as he's acting. It's funny. Josette seems to have a crush on Joshua here as well. Josette's very like, Joshua, where are you? Oh my god, Joshua.
Yeah, she's really into his like edgy live journal vibes right now because he's not a threat. He's just like, I'm dark, because he confirms that he's his real self now. This grimdark, moody little shit is the real guy. So lucky us.
Sure, Joshua, harmonica playing asshole. Sure.
Yeah, Mr. Anyway, here's Wonderwall.
Anyway, here's the whereabouts of light. But then Joshua has a super dramatic line to close out this whole scene where he says, let us return to the land being swallowed by the creeping shadow to the burl. Creeping shadow sounds like it should be a cool title alert, but it's just a metaphor.
I enjoyed this little moment with Joshua. It's good to know that we're not going to have to wait too long to hear about him. I also appreciated that the Capuas kind of collectively say, like, yeah, we knew you were a fake before. You were so, like, transparently disingenuine with your, like, nice guy persona, so...
But we also know that you're kind of faking it now a little bit. You're not actually as much of an asshole as you're pretending to be. Like, you're being an edgelord. We can tell also.
Definitely.
Yeah, like, the real Joshua is somewhere in between.
Goddess willing, edgelord will be his cool title, because we've already got a Blade Lord, and now he's got a friend.
The Blade Lord and the Edge. Okay, that Edgelord as a title, going with Blade Lord, just sounds like a title for in the bedroom. Maybe when Joshua's a little older. He's only a little 16-year-old now. He could grow into it.
Maybe he's really curious about Louvet's Silver Thorn.
Oh my god. Curtains match the drapes.
He's at that age. Oh god. Yeah.
I think I like the fact that Don clearly still sees Joshua as a kid. Like, he's treating him as a kid, even though, like, not as a like little kid, but like he's 16 in a game where people are very on and off about whether they treat a 16-year-old as a child or not. Don's attitude is very much like, yeah, this is a 16-year-old. Like, I'm not gonna take everything he says at 100% serious. I'm not gonna take his threats 100% seriously, or like, he's a 16-year-old. He's clearly going through some shit. I like Don. I like his like vibe here.
Kind of thinking about it, like, it does sort of smack me that Joshua turning back to his real self, quote, quote, maybe he's reverting to his old personality before he kind of, like, mind-wiped himself into, like, nice guy Joshua. But he's returning to his real personality, which is what his 11-year-old self thought an assassin should be like.
Yeah, that is so true. I would be an edgelord if I reverted to my 11-year-old self.
Yeah, it was never that sort of, like, complex or, like, real. It was always just like, I'm Joshua Murder Hands, and I'm gonna do killings, and I'm gonna be gruff and mean. But yeah, maybe. And
I'm a traumatized 11-year-old, so
hopefully this will be kind of like knocked down quickly because
yeah, he's gonna have to chill a bit, but I'm sure he will because Estelle is unstoppable force and the immovable object. Estelle is both in one, so.
Yeah, and she's got all those sneakers with us, so she's ready to throw a chancla at him.
What is that?
I think it's Spanish for like house slipper. It's like, your mom would throw a chancla at you when you're misbehaving.
I like that. She's got so many to throw.
But for now, we've reached the end of the prologue. We did a whole chapter in one episode. What the fuck?
Look at us. Oh my god. It probably won't happen again.
It did take 3 recording attempts to get here, but we made it. We told you all about the prologue.
Hooray!
Next is chapter 1.
You start off the chapter by flying into a different town. When you arrive back at that town or city with a third party in tow, that's where we're going to stop and save for that episode.
One other thing I did want to bring up, because after finishing the prologue, I did start chapter 1 with the intent to sort of get to the first point I could save and then stop there for my session on that night. But there is a decision that happens very early in chapter 1 that will, for a while, affect your party composition. You sort of get an either-or choice.
And we are going to do different ones.
Yeah, so we're going to split the difference, and each of us do one path.
But you'll get to hear the path not taken. You'll get to hear about both sides, so.
Follow your heart. Don't feel like you're going to miss out if you choose the wrong option, because we'll let you know what happens either way. As far as I know, it's just kind of like flavoring through the game.
Yeah, no, it'll all be good.
Or through this segment of the game, as opposed to like a major change in the narrative or anything. Follow your heart. We will follow ours, and we will let you know which way our hearts led us come next episode.
What trail it takes. And but for now, I have been Lex.
And I have been Matt.
And you can find us on socials at TrailsPod on Twitter, Blue Sky, Instagram, even though I never post on Instagram. I'm bad about that. Or send us an email with questions at trailsthroughtrails@gmail.com. We really love getting questions in emails. It doesn't have to be for a season finale. You can send them anytime.
Yeah.
Or you can find us just meandering around the internet various places. We're not that hard to track down. Oh yeah, please leave reviews on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, whatever you use. That would be great. A rating is great. A review, something short's fine. Just please leave reviews. That'd be really great. That helps a lot.
It would also be really lovely because a lot of these things, especially Apple Podcasts, are region locked.
Yeah.
So if you don't specifically live in Australia or Canada, we may never see them. So it would be lovely if you do leave a review or something like that. Fire through like a screenshot on Blue Sky or something. Just let us know what you wrote because we'd hate to miss out on hearing what you think, good or bad. It's all useful to us.
Yeah.
But yeah, please let us know what you think and then show us that you let us know what you think so that we can actually know what you think.
Yeah, that would be awesome. But yeah, until next time. Bye!
Bye!